woke a giant up, now here I come. I ain't going nowhere, so you better run. I'm a giant, and I never fall. The biggest in the game, I want it all. I'm a giant, like a riot. I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. I'm a giant, the biggest in the game. I'm a giant, I'm defiant, more power than a tyrant. Ha. And I never fall, no, and I want it all.
This week's Dragon football broadcast is brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Southlake, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, First Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Carroll Dragon Pregame Show, sponsored by Kim Bedwell Real Estate. Now here's your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
Just 4 miles separate Keller and Carroll high schools, and tonight we are 4 miles west of Southlake, where the Dragons make their first of 2 trips this year to Keller ISD Athletic Complex to take on the Indians. Welcome into the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our statistician Monty Clegg, producer Bill Webb, and director Tim Polster. The Dragons come into this one after a 44-7 win over another Keller ISD school, Timber Creek. The win moved Carroll to 5-0 on the year, 3-0 in District 4-6A. But the headline out of that one, unfortunately, Robert, was that the Dragons will be without running back Riley Wormley for the rest of the season. He went down with a leg injury in the second half.
Devastating loss, Chris. But, silver lining, happy that Riley Wormley will be okay. I can tell you, Chris, the team rallied not only around Wormley, but I think just as a team in general, the sense of urgency is here, and they rallied around, that young man, and then as a team as well.
The Indians, meanwhile, have won back-to-back games after dropping their district opener. Last week, they beat Central 14-8. Looking at their scores, talking to head coach Carl Strelo, this is a group that's not going to score a ton of points, but it's going to lean on its defense and try to grind games out.
They rely heavily on the defense, Chris, which is a very veteran group. They run a 3-3 stack centered around Air Force commit Andrew Jurasek, and all-district defensive end Caleb Muse. On the back end, they're going to run that cover 3, cover 4. They want to spread and be able to just cover those outside ends and get some pressure on the quarterback.
Look at what they've allowed this year, 16.6 points per game. That is 5th among 6A schools in North Texas. And mention these schools are pretty close to each other. A lot of these kids and families know each other. They see each other around. Yes, the all-time series, a little bit one-sided in favor of the Dragons, but proximity still brings a little bit of excitement, doesn't it?
Well, it does. The guys know each other. Some train together, some play sports together. If you're Southlake, the only motivation you really need tonight is to know that you were scheduled on homecoming for Keller.
You take a look at the field right now, the Keller band and drill team set to take the field. You can see on the drill team the front side hanging down those large mums. So it is homecoming tonight for the Dragons. You think Coach Dodge may have slipped in that fact at some point during the week?
I'm sure he had a brief conversation with the team this week regarding that. And I tell you what, they would love to spoil the plans for the Indians tonight.
Well, we are just getting started on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Still to come, we'll hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge, bring you the starting lineups, and get Robert's keys to the game. But first, let's break down each team on both sides of the ball. That's next on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Welcome back to Keller ISD Athletic Complex, just a few miles down Southlake Boulevard from Carroll High School. It is homecoming night for the Indians as you see them introducing the homecoming court on the field right now. There are a couple of football players in that group in the back, and Robert, a couple of linemen, it looks like.
It's a lot of love for the big guys tonight, and I love seeing it, even here in Keller. It's an incredible job. You know they're smiling ear to ear right now. These are the big guys' opportunity of the year.
They're like, did the quarterback get here? No, I did.
I love it.
But let's talk about the Carroll offense. The headline we mentioned off the top was the loss of running back Riley Wormley. The USC commit was having an outstanding season, 713 all-purpose yards, 12 total touchdowns through just 5 games. However, the Dragons have another Division I running back on the roster, and that's Davis Penn. He's going to go play at Baylor. He was the Dragons' leading rusher a year ago as just a sophomore. You see the numbers there. The ones that stand out that's just almost absurd, 30 touchdowns for Penn last season.
Well, Penn is so dynamic, Chris. 3 things I love about Penn. Number 1, his vision to find the cutback lane in the inside zone. And number 2, he hits the hole with authority. 3, he gets to the second level fast. There's a reason why he's going to Baylor, Chris, and he runs the inside zone to perfection.
On the receiving side of things, we've talked a lot about Brock Boyd already this year, but what he's been able to do the last 2 weeks specifically has been really special. The numbers through those 2 games, 18 catches, 348 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I feel like we're running out of ways to describe what he's been doing this year.
You know, it's simply unbelievable. He's the complete package, Chris. Size, 6'3", speed, 4.5. You know, more than anything, the ability to get open no matter the coverage. You know, credit to his route running ability. And I think, lastly, the blocking ability, Chris. You young receivers out there listening and watching right now, I want you to watch Brock Boyd show up on almost every play with heart, desire, and a will to block. You got to block, and the TCU commit excels at all levels, Chris.
Looking defensively at the Indians, it's been good this year. We mentioned they're 5th in the area among 6A teams in points allowed per game. Return few second-team all-district players in linebackers Matthew Reagan, Andrew Jurasek, and defensive end Caleb Muse, corner Baron Brown. So what stands out to you about this group?
I think, first of all, it's right around that middle linebacker in Jurasek. He's one of the best linebackers they're going to face all year. He's the Air Force commit, but what stands out, he has 7 sacks from the middle linebacker position, which you don't see a lot. You're going to see him get out and not only do a little bit of coverage, but he's going to be a force against the run and a great on the pressure. Then you have, you know, all-district guy, Caleb Muse, who's going to be lined up over Luke Wilson. So that's going to be a great matchup tonight.
Well, that's a look at how this Carroll offense matches up against the Keller defense. We'll flip it, look at the other side of the ball next on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified trained dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy. With delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon fans, it's Tommy Pennington here with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Do you think you need to do improvements to sell your home? Start planning today. Inquire about our Compass Concierge program. It's the hottest program in real estate where our broker will pay for the improvements at zero cost to you. Call us today at 817-416-9000 or check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon fans to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
They are announcing the homecoming king and queen tonight here at Keller ISD Athletic Complex as we get set for the Indians to host the Dragons tonight. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you. Robert, there are 4 football players out there for the king nominees. The 5th person who is not on the football team is the one that comes away victorious.
Listen, number one, I demand a recount. We have too much of the chubby love out there, and they're remember this forever. I know that feeling. I was left out of the homecoming court and didn't win my senior year, and I'll tell you what, I still can't get over it, Chris. It will haunt you forever.
Well, let's continue to set up this matchup between Carroll and Keller, how this Dragon defense matches up against the Indian offense. And let's start up front because Austin Davidge and Jack Van Dorsler have just been living in the backfield the last couple of weeks. They're the team's 2 leading tacklers. They've combined for 6 sacks on the year. What's made them so dominant?
Simple. You got to get out the ball. And they get off the ball, Chris. They are disciplined. They can run the heel line. They can spill the run game. And they can get to the QB.
Well, this Keller offensive line, let's start up front. I know that's going to make you happy. It's a veteran group, 3 guys who started last year, and Tex Mahon, Tanner Chorange, Killian Registe, they're all second-team all-district returners. How do they hold up against those 2 ends, plus Jackson Oakley and Jake Lucky on the inside against this Dragon D-line?
Well, I think the marquee matchup of the entire night, Chris, is going to be between Keller's right tackle, Killian, the TCU commit, versus Carroll's Jack Van Dorsler, the Tennessee commit. But I do expect Davidge and Van Dorsler to be flipping sides throughout the night. Now, Lucky is going to be a force in the middle. I know Lucky wants it bad tonight. He's actually an ex-Keller guy, Chris.
And finally for the Indians, talk quarterback, Beckham Robinson and Brock Burkett have both played this year. There's the old saying that goes, if you've got 2 quarterbacks, you really have none. But that's not how head coach Carl Strelo feels.
Well, no, I think he has 2 guys that bring 2 different things to the table. Number one, Beckham Robinson is more that guy who's going to stand in the pocket. He's going to do the RPOs. He's going to do the play action. He's going to get out and just throw the ball down the field. And then you have Brock Burkett. He's more that runner. So he's going to bring a little more athleticism to the position, and he's going to be able to get out there and scramble and will be a little bit more of a threat. So
we'll keep an eye for which one is under center tonight as the Dragons defense is on the field. So that's how both sides of the ball match up tonight. Carroll and Keller coming up in just a few minutes on what is homecoming night for the Indians. And up next, we will hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge when we come back to the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place. From the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched, we're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to Keller ISD Athletic Complex as we get set for the Dragons to take on the Indians. Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show continues. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And coach, want to start off with the unfortunate news that we got during the course of the last week that your senior running back, Riley Wormley, is lost for the season with a leg injury. What was the response from the team when they got the news?
Yeah, everybody's just devastated in our field house. And after the game, you could hear a pin drop on the buses going back to the field house. So, I mean, it definitely hurts. I mean, we obviously lost a great football player, but, a better human being, a better person, a better teammate, one of our captains. And, you just kind of see the response through the week with kids, how they're practicing. It's been a great week of practice, but how much they care for their teammate and their brother, just the text messages I've gotten, the videos, the photos I've seen with our guys over hanging out with Riley, keeping him company, trying to lift his spirits. So, obviously just devastated for the kid. He's, one of our leaders, one of our best practice players. He does everything the right way. It was an unfortunate injury.
You talk about that response from some of your players. What does that look like when it comes to the practice field, when it comes to the locker room? What are some of the things that are being done, some of the guys who are stepping up?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we have to realize as coaches, we're still coaching 15, 18-year-old boys, and you have to challenge them in certain areas. We challenge certain individuals to try to carry that weight that Riley brought to the practice field and, how he carried himself. And we had guys step up to the challenge. I think they naturally did that as well because they felt like they needed to, pick up the slack a little bit for losing number one. But I'm just super proud of the way our kids have responded and, how they've responded to, helping their teammate out.
From a football perspective, in the running back room, you do still have a guy who scored 30 touchdowns last year in Davis Penn. So we know what he's capable of. What does he bring to the table, and how does the offense operate differently, if at all, with him in the backfield?
Yeah, the 30 touchdowns, nothing to sneeze at, and I think roughly around 1,500 yards all purpose. So I told the kids, obviously we felt like I'm biased about our kids. I know that's the same way in every field house across the state of Texas and in the country. Everybody feels a certain way about the kids they coach. I feel like we have the best running back room in the state of Texas. We had an amazing 1-2 punch, and now Davis is going to now get the bulk of the carries. He did that for half of the regular season last year. Before Riley got back into the mix and they started kind of double duty a little bit, but we have all the confidence in the world in Davis. And I think the thing that gives our locker room confidence, our field house confidence is it's not just talk. The kid has actually done it and done it at a high level versus some of the best competition in the state of Texas as a sophomore. He has had a great year so far. Now I think with him, touching the ball a lot more the rest of the year, I think he's just going to continue to get better and better.
On the defensive side of the ball last week, you give up a season-low 7 points. And this was against an offense that had a quarterback who was the leading 6A passer coming in. Do you feel like that was your best defensive effort of the season?
Yeah, by far. By the way the kids answered the bell. We knew we had a challenge, especially in the secondary and up front, trying to get to the quarterback, making him feel uncomfortable. We definitely did that. Had several coverage sacks as well. Got through that first series where they drove down the field and scored. And then after that, we played lights out all night. So, kudos to our kids and how they prepared and how they responded to a lower adversity early in the game. And, credit to, Coach Munn and our defensive staff.
Turning our attention to Keller now, and we'll make Robert happy by starting up front in the trenches. This is a Keller offensive line that returns some experience, a couple second-team all-district performers last season. On the other side, you've got a pair of defensive ends who, as we just talked about against Timber Creek, have been wreaking havoc of late. So how do you see that matchup playing out?
Yeah, it would be a great matchup. I like our D line. I think they continue to come. They're coming along. We have depth. We feel like we have some guys we can roll in off the sideline as well. they've been playing at a high level, especially last week. So I know they're excited about the challenge.
Keller also has used 2 quarterbacks at times this year, in Beckham Robinson, who's more of a pocket passer, and Brock Burkett, who's the more mobile of the two. What are the challenges of preparing to see 2 different quarterbacks in a single night?
Yeah, I think that I think style wise they don't change very much. There'll be a little bit more quarterback run game with number 7. He can extend plays a little bit better than 15, but they do, certain, each one of them has a kind of certain skill set. We just need to be aware of, and figure out what they want to do with each kid, and just try to settle in.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Dragons head coach Riley Dodge joining us on the Kim Bedwell Realty Group pregame show. Dragons and Indians coming up next on the Dragons Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Hey Dragon fans, Tommy Pennington here. Like the Carroll Dragons, my team understands it takes great fans to be a winner. I want to personally thank all of our Tommy Pennington Realty Group fans for their loyalty and ongoing support. It's because of you we continue to support our Dragon organizations every year. Please remember, we love helping Dragon families with all of their real estate needs. I'm here to give you the best advice and to help you anytime. My Dragon fans would tell you,
call Tommy.com. Go Dragons!
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Right side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown Dragons.
Carroll visiting Keller tonight at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton with you on this Friday evening in Northeast Tarrant County. The Dragons come in still unbeaten, 5-0 on the season, 3-0 in district play. Keller, meanwhile, 3-2 on the year, 2-1 in District 4-6A. As you get a look at the Dragons preparing to come out of the tunnel on the west side of the field. The sun's starting to set, or on the east side of the field, rather. The sun's starting to set behind the press box, so by the time we kick off tonight, both sides of the stand should be shaded. You see just a little bit of sunlight there sneaking through as the Dragons prepare to run out. But let's get you the starting lineups for this one, as we are about 6 minutes away from kickoff, starting with the Dragons. And offensively for Carroll, we told you that Riley Wormley is out for the season with a leg injury. It is Angelo Renda and Davis Penn who we will see in the backfield. We might also see a little Christian Glenn.
Yeah, he's the guy we've always talked about, explosive speed. He's the son of late Terry Glenn. He's a guy that he gets the ball in the hand, he can go.
And as far as the pass catchers go for Angelo Renda, it is the 4 starting receivers, Brody Knowles, Luke Jacomard, Blake Gunter, and Brock Boyd. The tight end, Jacob Bobrowski. We'll see some combination of those 5 out there most of the time for the Dragons. And then the offensive line, the brothers on the left side, Luke and Trent Wilson, Kerry Clayton the center, Nathan Damaraki at right guard, and Tristan Dare at right tackle. Defensively for Carroll tonight, we've talked a lot about this defensive line. Jack Van Dorsler and Austin Davidge anchoring it up front with Jake Lucky and Jackson Oakley in the middle. It's a 4-2-5 look for Carroll, so we will see this combination of linebackers. 2 of these 4 guys will be on the field most of the time for Lee Munn, Will Lyons, Marcus Browse, Mateo Fedor, and Robbie Ladd. And the secondary for the Dragons tonight, the cornerbacks Luke Bussman and Ethan Fisher, Luke Langford, Austin Bussman, and William Chen. We'll also see a good dose of Gavin Strange out there for Carroll as well defensively. The starting lineup for the Indians tonight, as you watch the 2 sides go out to midfield for the coin toss. The quarterback for Keller, senior Beckham Robinson. We'll also see junior Brock Burkett in there as well. The starting running back is also a senior in Kyle Owens. The receivers for Keller, juniors Ralph Crosby and Brock Meek, seniors Will Adams and Jake Venables. Adams, their leading receiver with 374 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns on the year. The offensive line left to right, Daniel Hartzog, Tex Mahon, Gideon Milam, Judd Mahon, and Killian Registe, and Robert, the Mahon brothers at guard. You don't often get 2 offensive lines with sets of brothers going up against each other.
Well, for Keller, you have the Blindside brothers, and then for Keller, you have the Pancake brothers. So, yes, I get credit for that, that line. I coined it. I own it. It's mine. But two, and those brothers are dynamic players. Tex has played since 4 years on the offensive line. He's been a stalwart on that Keller line.
And defensively for Keller, the defensive line, Caleb Muse, a returning second-team All-District performer at defensive end, along with Daryl Culberson, and the nose tackle is senior Landon Mall. The 3 linebackers, junior Matthew Reagan, seniors Andrew Jurasek and Luke Andrews. The corners are both juniors, Quentin Shropshire and Barron Brown, and the safeties, all seniors, Landon Drilling, TJ Worthy, and Jace Frankie. The coin toss completed at midfield. Keller won the toss and opts to receive. They will go south to north here at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Bernard Gray, the umpire Eric Horton, head line judge Wiley Payne, line judge Tracy Williams, the field judge is Jason Nemella, side judge David Semenk, and the back judge is Larry Bean. Get ready for the national anthem here to be performed by the Keller Band. It's a little warm today, but we've dipped down to 84 degrees as the sun starts to set, so not horrible weather, or not too hot, I should say, as we get closer to kickoff. Still maybe a little warmer than you'd like for early October.
Well, I like sleeve weather. You know, as a lineman, you want a little cool breeze. You don't want to be out here sweating too much now, Chris.
See the Indians get set to run out of their tunnel in the south end zone. After they come out, we'll have the national anthem. Mentioned it is homecoming night for the Indians here. Talked about how that could be a motivating factor for the Dragons tonight, especially against a team that record-wise you may not call it a rivalry, but as just far as proximity goes and history goes, there's a little history there.
Well, there is, and I don't think Coach Starlow, felt that he scheduled Southlake for a reason on homecoming. I think it's just to follow the schedule what happened. But anyways, you got to use any inch you can take, Chris, and use those motivations for this Dragon team. And I tell you what, I know Coach Dodge was out there this week mentioning that.
Coach Dodge in his 7th year as the head coach of the Dragons, 83-8 since taking over. Carroll went 5 rounds deep into the playoffs a year ago. Carl Strelo in his 13th year at Keller, 67-65 in his career. Last year, Keller 7-4, got to the bi-district round. The year before that, the Indians went 3 rounds deep, finished 10-3 overall before falling to Louisville in the 3rd round. We will pause now as the Indian band plays the national anthem. Absent, so it's something that we've seen more and more with head coaches that the Dragons have played with, what Coach Dodge likes to do, putting your best playmakers back there regardless on special teams, whereas some coaches have the mindset of maybe holding them out of those sort of plays, but it seems like it's more common now to just get the ball in those guys' hands as much as possible.
Well, not only a statement for Coach Dodge, but I think the Dragon legacy in general over the past 30 or 40 years. You put your best players on special teams. I mean, they want that. They want to be a definitive role. They want to win the special team game, and you want to get the ball in those hands of Luke Jackmore and Brock Boyd.
Carroll will be kicking off to start this one, and back to receive for the Indians. Will Adams and Quentin Shropshire. And let's take a look before kickoff at Robert's keys to the game.
Well, first of all, I think you got to win the battle on the edge. And we're going to see Austin Davidge and Dan Dorsler. Got to get pressure on Beckham Robinson, make him make those throws. Know your opponent. Keller likes to do a little bit of gadgetry up front very early in the games. Be ready for it. Get the triplets in rhythm. And that's Penn, Renda, and Boyd. Get them going early and get them going often.
Kickoff goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Keller will get started on offense. Talk about the keys to the game. We'll revisit those at halftime. See how your predictions were.
Well, I'm usually pretty good, Chris, so I do like to humbly brag. But, Keller coming out, they're going to come out in a lot of 11 personnel, 12 personnel. That means they're going to bring out a tight end running back or 2 tight ends and a running back.
Well, Robinson, the senior quarterback, Owens, the running back alongside. Robinson will pass on first down under pressure right away. Has a man open across the 40 and out of bounds. Goes Will Adams. The senior is their leading receiver, and Robinson connects with him on the first snap.
We talked about Robinson. He can sit back there in the pressure, and he can deliver a ball. A good little corner route, and great pitch and catch by Keller.
Indians going tempo here to start. Hand it to Owens on the second snap. He is stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
And this is where Keller, they're going to want to have to establish the run game. They like to leave in their defensive hands, but they got to use the offense to keep that defense off the field.
Jake Venables, number 85, lined up as sort of an H-back off the hip of the right tackle as Robinson rolls out here, completes it. Breaking one tackle is Ralph Crosby before a couple more Dragons arrive to push him back. They didn't give him forward progress. They said right back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, you're going to see this a lot with Beckham Robinson. He likes to roll out on these designed roll-out runs and passes and do play action. We're going to see heavy doses of that, but for this to work, they got to get the run game going.
Owens, the running back, last week, 17 carries for 121 yards in their win over Central. On the year, 396 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. They'll also use him as a pass catcher. He's caught 7 balls on the year. On third down, Keller calls a timeout before the ball is snapped. We'll stay here as Strelo uses a timeout just over a minute into the game. Robinson, a couple of completed passes, and Owens, 1 carry for no gain. A little surprised they didn't give Crosby forward progress of a couple of yards on the second completion, but Dragons pushed him back and got him back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, when you watch the film, they're not doing anything that we haven't seen on film. And again, coming out in that 11 personnel, they're going to use that tight end as a big part of that offense. They're going to use him in motion. They're going to use him as a lead blocker on ISO. They're going to do those things and get him heavily involved. So right now, I'm not seeing anything that we haven't already seen on film, Chris.
One of the matchups, as we have a moment here on the first drive of the game for Keller, one of the matchups to watch we touched on during the pregame is going to be the right tackle for Keller, Killian Registe, a senior committed to TCU, against Jack Van Dorsler. On that side of the Carroll defense, Van Dorsler committed to Tennessee as a tight end, but the storyline by now has moved over to the defensive side of the ball for the Dragons this season. Tight formation here as they come out on third down. Robinson the pass, pressured, and sacked, brought down in the backfield. It was Zach Hayes getting there first for the Dragons.
We talked about Van Dorsler, but it's actually Zach Hayes in the game. And watch him on the edge here. He just beats him to the corner, and that's a TCU committed. Got a little bump there, got a little help, but great job on staying with the quarterback and bringing him down. Fantastic job, Zach Hayes.
Yeah, the running back Owens connecting with Regis while he was trying to go out to run his route might have helped Hayes get around the corner.
I think it did. They're going to watch that in film tomorrow. He's like, thanks, man.
Well, the punter for the Indians is Jacob Just. Punts it away, Jacquemart. Good punt, caught at the 26. Cutting across left to right and out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Along the Indians sideline goes Jacquemart. Return of about 17 yards for the junior for Carroll. Now this Dragon offense will get its first look of the day as Angelo Renda comes out, and we expect to see, of course, a lot more Davis Penn tonight.
I'd like to see Davis Penn get started, often early, but that's my personality as a run guy. But you're going to see Keller here. They're going to be in that 3-3 stack. That look, they've done a really good job so far of it. Keep your eyes out on number 11, Andrew Jurasek, going to Air Force, middle linebacker.
He's the really big guy in the middle of your screen.
That's an easy way of putting it, Chris.
And on first down, they play fake to Penn, get out into the flat to Jacquemart, trying to get around the corner, does, and is pushed out of bounds. Flag comes in late as Jacquemart was close to the marker. We'll see what the penalty is. called the face mask on the Indians, so that'll move the Dragons up 15 yards, not the way this Indian defense wants to get started.
No, and a great job by Jackamore on that. And Riley talked a little bit about him getting the ball in space and letting him make a move and getting yards after contact. He did a phenomenal job that last game. Again here on the first series for the Dragons.
Bobrovsky into the game at tight end. They give it to Penn, running up the middle. Keeps the legs churning to the 32. Stopped there. Gain of about 4 for the junior running back.
Again, Carroll taking Bobrovsky and getting him almost like a pulling lineman and getting him through almost on the inside zone there, doing a great job of getting the second level. And I'll tell you what, you gain 5 to 6 yards of play, Chris, you're going to be in good shape here for the Dragons.
The Penn on the season, averaging 6.6 yards per carry. It's Jack Martin motion left to right. Renda. Blake Gunter makes the catch shy of the 30. He's got a lot of running room across the 20, inside the 15, and finally tackled as he goes across the boundary inside the 10-yard line. Maybe not quite inside the 10, right at the 10. Flag on the play as well.
As we go back and look at the instant replay, great poise by Andrew Rinden in the pocket. Nice little drop off to Gunter here in the flats, and getting north and south. There's where Blake Gunter really excels at.
Talking this one over, he was brought down by Jace Frankie. They're going to wave it off. Well, Gunter got the Dragons down to the 10. The first and goal from here for Carroll. Knocking on the door just a few plays into their first possession. Boyd, the lone receiver on the right side. Defense waited that way. They show pressure. They bring it. Give it to Penn. Not much up the middle as he is pushed backwards. Maybe lost a yard on the carry.
And great job by the Keller defense. Again, they come in that 3-3 stack look. They bring the house, shooting everyone in the gaps and creating a tough situation for the Dragons on offense in the run. But again, radar's going off here, Chris. Angel Renda, you get inside the red zone, you're looking at, hey, are we throwing the spots? Are we throwing the corner? Are we throwing these tying passes that they practice every day?
Got Knowles out to the left, Boyd to the right. On second down, throws one up end zone, looking for Knowles, and it will fall incomplete. In coverage was number 14, Baron Brown, the junior who was second team All-District last season.
Yeah, and again, we talked about throwing the spots, and Angel Renda might have some missing communication between him and Knowles. But again, that's what Renda's going to do in the Dragon offense. They're going to find little spots and they're going to try to hit it and target it.
So third down and 10 now. They ran it on first down. Penn got back to the line, and an incompletion on second down. Boyd, the lone receiver, out to the right. Goes in motion. Renda rolls out. Complete, but hit immediately was Gunter. Brought down by Jace Frankie, the senior, and it'll be fourth down. Carroll will bring on the field goal unit.
Great job by Jace Frankie. And again, you're in that 3-3 stack, so you're playing with basically another safety-type body that's going to be fast, get to the ball. And I tell you what, he does a great job on covering that flat and getting the guy to the ground.
All field goal attempts presented by the Tommy Pennington Compass Group, and it is Gavin Strange on for this one out of the hold of Zach Hayes. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So Strange now 3 of 3 on field goals this season. And with 7:55 to go in the first quarter, it's Carroll 3, Keller nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified trained dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Massero kickoff for the Dragons, going to be fielded by Adams in the end zone, and he will take a knee there. Kickoffs powered by Massero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Massero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Massero, where love is always on the house. So this Indian offense will come back on to the field, and Robert noticed during the break that Jack Van Dorsler not out there for the Dragons tonight. Zach Hayes getting the start, the left defensive end.
Yeah, you see Van Dorsler in street clothes. You hope everything is all right, and you wish him the best of luck.
Hand off to the running back, Owens. Gets across the 25, but not much more there as Davidge was able to chase him down.
And we talk about Davidge, his closing speed and what he can do. We talked about in the pregame. He's just such an active player. He gets off blocks so well. Great job on chasing down the Keller Indian running back.
They gave him 3 on the carry. Still Robinson in the game at quarterback. We're just keeping an eye out because they do switch quarterbacks every once in a while, does this Indian team. Flag flies, plays blown dead. False start on Keller. And it's early, but penalties have already started to be a problem for the Indians.
It is a lot of laundry here in the first 2 series for Keller, and this is what they can't have happen. Again, you play against a team like Southlake, you got to be buttoned up on the penalties. You got to play a complete game. You can't give these little 5 yards, 10 yards, 15-yard penalties.
The Indian defense actually had a pretty good series against the Dragons if you take away that 15-yard personal foul.
They definitely came out strong, and they're going to have to do that majority of the time now against that Dragon offense.
On 2nd and long, Robinson throws sideline, caught, and out of bounds goes Brock Meek. Oh, they ruled it incomplete. Looked like Meek had it. Junior returning starter at 113 yards and a touchdown against Arlington Bowie in their Week 2 matchup. That one falls incomplete. 3rd and 12.
You're seeing Beckham Robinson getting a little more comfortable in the pocket. You can see why he's that pocket passer. He delivers a pretty ball, and he can get in there quickly, Chris.
On 3rd down, looking Meek's way again. This time it is caught across the 35-yard line, close to the sticks, and that'll move the chains up to the 36-yard line. So Meek, they go right back to him, and this time he hauls it in.
And again, Beckham Robinson just staying back in the pocket and delivering a tremendous throw where they're in between 2 Carroll defenders where you've got to throw it exactly at the right spot. And tremendous job by delivering a strike.
On 1st down, throw again to Meek's way across the 45 and taken out of bounds by Bussman and Fisher. But they see something with Meek that they like, apparently.
Well, they're doing a good job on just, at least getting some tempo here and getting they're having success there on the out routes and getting above the defense a little bit in between the safeties and linebackers.
Number 5, Quentin Shropshire into the game at running back as this one tipped up into the air and intercepted by the Dragons. There is a flag down on the far side of the field, but coming up with it for Carroll was Taven Coons. But the flag down near the Dragons sideline.
And watch here, actually a nice strike by Beckham Robinson. And again, it's just a deflection from the Carroll defender. Tremendous job by Luke Bussman on getting that out. And then heads up play by Kuntz on getting that interception, getting on the ground now. We'll see what the penalty is.
Called sideline interference. Not something that you see too often. The intended receiver there was Ralph Crosby.
That's the one penalty I think coaches get mad about the most, Chris, is the sideline penalty. They usually have a guy on the sidelines pushing everybody back.
But the interception stands. Coons comes up with it. The 2nd pick by the Carroll defense this year. Jacquemart goes in motion. They get it to him on a wide receiver screen. Has some blockers out there across midfield. Gunter just manhandling his defender all the way up to the 40 to buy some extra yardage for Jacquemart.
We talk about Brock Boyd and his blocking ability, but ladies and gentlemen, watch Blake Gunter here on the edge, just setting the pace. the sophomore, just watch him driving number 5, and Jack Moore just following his block, gets a pancake at the end. Well done, Blake Gunner.
The lineman will give him a pat on the back after that one.
That's a star.
1st and 10. Renda throws down the right sideline looking for Boyd. It is incomplete. In coverage was Shropshire. And it falls incomplete, but Renda taking a shot there after getting the first down.
Again, good protection by the Carroll offensive line, picking up the blitz. Renda throwing it unfazed, and more times than not, they're going to come down with that ball.
If you have Boyd one-on-one down the sideline, Dragons will take that matchup 9 times out of 10. Knowles all by himself on the wide left side of the field. Jacquemart motions that way. 2nd and 10 as we tick under halfway through the first quarter. Renda pumps, throws into the flat, a wide open Gunter, forced out of bounds by Frankie.
And this is what I love seeing what the Dragon offense is doing. They're backing up into a cover 3. They're really leaving the intermediate wide open, and so they're finding success there. And Blake Gunner, again, he's doing it in receiving and he's doing it in blocking.
3rd and short for Carroll. 3rd and 3. Ball at the 31. Dragons already lead at 3-0. The strength of a Devin Strange field goal. 3rd and short. Give it to Penn, shifting his way middle, but flags flew before the ball was snapped. It's going to be a false start on the Dragons. So Carroll now had 3rd and short. Penn looked like he had plenty to pick up the first down. Now 3rd and 8.
You hate to see that. They had that block there on the front side. It looked like it could have been a touchdown. But again, you got to regroup. You got to get back. It's 3rd down. You lost 5 yards. You've got to get this first down and keep the chains moving.
Keller substituting, trying to match up with Carroll. Landon Mall sprints to the sidelines. Knowles in motion. Don't see him lined up there all that often. 3rd and 8. Renda looking for Knowles and just out of his reach near the 20-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, again, it really comes down to, the Carroll receivers just making that catch and getting there, and maybe the timing of the ball and the pass just maybe a step ahead. But again, up front, Dragon offensive line, they're picking up the blitzes. They're giving great time, great protection to Renda.
We talked about Jurasek, 7 sacks on the year. With the 3-3, is it difficult to pick up where the 4th rusher is going to come from since he's not a down lineman?
Well, they know primarily it's probably going to come from Jurasek. If they're playing with fire, if they bring some of those outside guys out, you're going to leave a tremendous space open, and they're going to exploit that. So more often than not, they're going to bring Jurasek. 4th
down here for Carroll. Going for it. Renda under pressure, flushed out to the right. Going to tuck it, try to run for the first down himself. Needs the 29, and he stepped out of bounds right about at the marker. It's going to be awfully close. They will move the chains. Keller trying to argue that maybe stepped out short, but good awareness by Renda to know exactly where to step out of bounds.
Well, this is the dimension we don't see of Renda a lot, but he has the ability to do it, to escape and run. And as he's kind of developed this season, you're going to see more and more of this come out of Renda. He's going to be that kind of that double threat option.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. New set of downs for Carroll. Give it to Penn, running hard up the middle, falls forward down to the 20-yard line. Picks up about 7.
We talk about Penn, how fast he can hit that hole. He gets right in between there, the interior 3 of Wilson, Clayton, and Domraki, and he hits that hole. He can get to the second level really fast, Chris.
And it's been all Davis Penn so far for this Carroll offense at running back. Talked about how he carried the load last year until Riley Wormley became eligible. Renda pumps, throws end zone, looking for Boyd. This time it is incomplete, but 2 flags come in. You would think this is going in the Dragons' favor.
Yeah, you're seeing there's an awful lot of contact there in the end zone, Chris. And again, Keller's bringing an awful lot of pressure here, often and early. Put a little bit of pressure on Renda. But I tell you what, great job with Boyd staying with it and drawing the pass interference call.
Renda 5 of 8 so far tonight, 41 yards. Now 1st and goal after the pass interference call. Gunter, the motion man. Give it to Penn. On his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Davis Penn gets into the end zone for the 5th time this year on the ground and puts Carroll in front 9-0.
I'm getting a pancake block syrup for Blake Lerner. Watch number 5 here on this lead block. He springs this touchdown for Davis Penn, and then you get Davis Penn that second level. Good luck on getting him down. Touchdown, Dragons.
Lowered the shoulder into TJ Worthy, the safety, to power across the goal line. And the Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point off the foot of Strange is good. So Davis Penn getting into the end zone first for the Dragons tonight. They lead it 10-0 over Keller on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Carroll with a 9-play, 53-yard drive that took 1 minute and 58 seconds off the clock and ended in a Davis Penn touchdown to go up 10-0 over Keller with 4:13 in the first quarter. Kickoffs powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Macero, where love is always on the house. So the Keller offense looking for an answer here. And in at quarterback now is Brock Burkett, the junior, more of a running threat. The misdirection handoff into the backfield gains a couple of yards by Kyle Owens. We'll see what new wrinkles they have in with the junior quarterback.
Yeah, you see Burkett, he gets out there and you can see the mobility, get on a little counter play. You're going to see a lot of him just using his feet in space.
They gave Owens 3 on the carry. Burkett to throw. Overthrows Meek. Been looking Meek's way a lot so far in the first quarter here.
He's been a tremendous asset for the offense. He's doing a great job really on those out routes and getting in between the defenders and just making plays. And, I'm not sure if Beckham Robinson is hurt or they're just doing a normal rotation, but he has some rhythm. He's getting to those guys in tight spots.
Meek on the year, 16 catches, 259 yards coming into today. Burkett, as a passer this season, only thrown it 10 times. That was his 11th pass attempt of the year. Keep it on the ground. Hard run by Owens right into the middle of the Dragon defensive line, and he will be stopped short of the marker.
This Keller strength is really going to be that interior, and they're going to run a lot to that right side. The Manhaven brothers are terrific talents. Texas probably going to go play on the next level as well, Chris.
They're going to go for it here in their own territory. Burkett a hard count. And Riley Dodge wants to use a timeout before either the hard count or before the ball was snapped. So while they take the timeout, we will step aside as well. With 3:17 to go in the first quarter, It's Carroll 10, Keller nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
So after the timeout, the Indians come out into punt formation, and they do punt it away off the foot of Jacob Just. Although not a big net on the punt for the Indians, it bounces out of bounds near the 45 of the Dragons. That is indeed right where they are going to go spot it. So didn't flip the field much. Just's first punt was pretty good for the Indians. Second one didn't quite have the distance.
Yeah, if you're Keller, you're going to have to start converting these and getting some type of points on the board, whatever it is. I'm not a big fan of the two quarterback system, Chris. I think we saw Beck and Robinson. He was actually in the rhythm, delivering some great balls. I just don't understand the concept behind that. I would have at least kept him in, continued to bring him in, targeting those receivers and moving the ball a little bit.
The Dragons with great starting field position here. They flip it to Boyd, coming left to right, trying to cut back inside. Spins out of a tackle, but it slowed him down enough for the rest of the Indians to get there. But he took a shot from Jurasek and stayed on his feet.
That is a big shot from Jurasek, I tell you what. But that shows you how tough a player Brock Boyd is. You get the ball in his hands. He's about as hard to get down as any of these Carroll Dragons. He does a phenomenal job.
Picked up a hard 4 yards, converted by Brock Boyd on that one as the Dragons get the ball up to the 49. Leading 10-0 here. Boyd in motion. Trips left for Carroll. Pumps once, going downfield. That one is nearly intercepted, but it falls incomplete. Flag came out. We get another look at this. Brenda pumped once.
You don't see it here on the replay, but you see a little pull of the jersey on Jacquemart before he broke off on his route there. Chris, that might have been me just signaling it. I wanted a flag.
You wanted the flag.
I wanted the flag, so I apologize for the fake out.
Nice job by Jacquemart. Worthy was going to come down with that pick until Jacquemart was able to knock it away. Third down. Brenda looking for Jacquemart again, and this one overthrown out of bounds. Led him a little too far. Frankie was the safety in coverage there. This Keller defense, yes, they've given up 10 points so far, but have slowed the Dragons down what we've become accustomed to seeing so far this year.
It starts with the front. The 3-3 stack is it's a difficult defense, the scheme on because a lot of things are covered. But they're putting Carroll in those third and a little longer situations and getting pressure on them. And Carroll hasn't got a lot of pressure on them this year.
Zach Hayes on to punt for just the 5th time this year. Back to receive is Quentin Shropshire. Fair catch called for. It bounces at the 1 and fielded inside the 5. Hayes pins the Indians at the 4-yard line. Great punt by the junior.
Well, terrific job by the Dragon special teams. We talk about special teams. They're a big part of the Dragon legacy just in football, all phases. And great job getting down the field and getting it inside the 5.
It was fielded down there for the Dragons by Jacob Montez, junior defensive back. He had that one bounce at the 1 and came right back to the Dragons coverage team. So Robinson back in the game now. Will be taking the snap from his own end zone. They keep it on the ground, just trying to buy some space, maybe get a yard. That's number 25, Guy Gonzalez, the senior into the game at running back now. They've got 4 running backs that they will use. There's 4 different runners who have 18 or more carries on the year for this Indians team. Gonzalez coming into tonight had 35 for 143 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it's kind of running back by committee there, and they're all very talented in their own right. And that's one thing, Keller's got to get those guys going. They got to get the horses out of the stable and get them going and establish the run game.
Motion Adams, get it to him. Across the 5 to the 10 and dragged out of bounds there by Ethan Fisher. But he got them out of the shadow of their own goalposts.
Well, it's a great job by the Dragon defense on just being able to set that edge and forcing them all the way out. And terrific job by Ethan Fisher on hunting down the Keller Indian and getting a huge tackle. Great job by the Dragons.
Forces a 3rd and short. Carroll trying to come up with a stop and wind up with good field position again. They give it to Gonzalez. He's hit immediately and dropped in the backfield for a loss. It was William Chen and Jake Lucky coming in on the stop.
No other than Jake Lucky. I told you he was going to be excited to play tonight. He's playing against his former city and program. He used to play at Keller in the younger years. Great job in getting penetration. And William Chen, I mean, I can't say enough about William Chen, what he brings from that defense and just gets in the backfield from the secondary, Chris.
Not a lot of room back there for Just. We've seen the Dragons block a punt for a safety once this year. Just gets this one away. A better kick than last time. It takes the Keller bounce across midfield and will roll to a stop at the Dragon 46. So much better punt this time around for Jacob Just. And we'll take a quick break here before the Carroll offense comes back onto the field with 34 seconds to go in the quarter. It's Carroll 10, Keller nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Davis Penn takes the first down handoff, picks up a couple of yards after Carroll takes over following the punt on what may have been the final play of the quarter. We'll see if they snap it again here. The play clock has not started, and both sides will head to the sideline as quarter number 1 comes to an end. Well, Carroll gets points off the foot of Gavin Strange and courtesy of the legs of Davis Penn to build a 10-0 lead after a quarter of play at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. Second quarter coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
Dragons move about 4 yards to the other side of midfield as we start the second quarter of play here in Keller. Carroll up 10-0. On the second down, Renda will look to throw. Flushed out to the right, throws far sideline. This one is caught by Brock Boyd. He falls out of bounds with enough yardage for the first down.
Great job by Angel Renda, just feeling the pressure, moving just a little bit, allowing Brock Boyd to come back where he can make a catchable ball. Great throw, great catch.
But for Carroll, the key, is trying to stay out of those third and longs that they've found themselves in oftentimes in the first quarter.
you got to make it manageable. If you're going to get in third down, which they don't hang out in third down territory quite a bit this year. They haven't really at all.
Brenda floats one out for Gunter. He makes the catch at 40, slips through a couple of tacklers, and falls forward to the 32. That'll be enough for another Dragon first down.
We've talked a little bit about Blake Gunter throughout the year, but he's kind of that hybrid guy in between. I think an older position was an H-back position where you're kind of a hybrid between a fullback, receiver, and tight end. He kind of fits that role. He can get out and block. And I tell you what, get him the ball in space. He gets north and south, and Riley knows he's going to get 2 to 3, 4 yards after he makes that catch.
Only 9 catches coming in to the game tonight, but he's been heavily featured for the Dragons so far as they fake the pitch out throw to Jacquemart and tried to turn around to make the play, but couldn't quite get there. Flag in the backfield. Another personal foul on Keller, and the Indians are starting to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit with all these penalties.
They really are. I mean, their defense is actually playing very, very well. They're holding, they're bending, kind of not breaking on the Carroll offense, but you can't do this. You can't have these penalties. They're going to knock you back another 15 yards.
It's not dissimilar to what we saw in the game that the Dragons played against Tebron. Brenda hands the pen, trying to pick his way through up to the 15 and falls forward there. But that was a game where the Hawks defense was playing well against Carroll's offense. But again, it was penalties that allowed the Dragons to build a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're anyone playing Carroll, you've got to be mistake-free. You've got to win the turnover battle. You've got to do all the right things to be able to compete when the clock kicks down in the fourth. And, teams that have success can do that. Others don't, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot, Chris.
Second down. Give it to Penn again. Finds the hole and finds the end zone. Davis Penn powered through the first level, and once he got through, there was nobody there to slow him down. 16-0 Dragons.
Great job getting behind Luke Wilson and Trent Wilson and Kerry Clayton here. Inside zone, and see the vision of Penn. Being able to get into the hole and get into the second level. That's what he does best. Great job, Davis Penn.
His second touchdown of the night. 6th rushing touchdown of the year, 7th total touchdown. The Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point off the foot of Lemmerman is good. And the Dragons now lead it 17-0. 10:44 to go in the second on the Dragons Sports Network.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
Couple of touchdowns tonight for Davis Penn in his first night as the lone featured back for Carroll, has the Dragons out to a 17-0 lead over Keller just over 13 minutes into this one. Macero kickoff. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos. And score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. It's a 5-play
Mobile
drive
is America's only
for the
Christian
Dragons
conservative
that ended in
wireless
that
provider.
Penn touchdown. That one awfully close to going out of bounds, but it got through the end zone before it did. And a touchback. Keller will take over again, looking for some points.
They've got to get on the board, Chris. I mean, they got to get on the board now. I mean, there isn't more to say to that. They've got to put a drive together, and they've got to get into the end zone to even have a shot here.
It's going to be Burkett at quarterback again. Couple of running backs out there with him now, as Shropshire is into the game. There's Shropshire in motion. They give it to him across the 30. avoids the hard hit and steps out of bounds as coming flying in with the lumber was Luke Bussman, but Shropshire able to sidestep it.
Well, you see Shropshire, we talked about, all these running backs have their unique capabilities. I think you can see when he gets in his hands, he's a dynamic runner and he can get to the edge and he's got a lot of quickness to him.
Also, second running back in there now is Bo Moreno, senior. 18 carries, 71 yards on the year for him. He's the one lined up in the backfield. Burkett keeps it across the 40. You can see the shiftiness as he gets up to the 43.
And the Keller O-line does a great job. They're running the buck sweep play side where they're pulling both guards, both Mahons. they're both getting pulled to their front side, and great job by Burkett keeping it and going to the backside. You're getting that defense to flow one way, you're going back on the counter in another way. Great execution.
So second and short. They haven't found themselves in as many of these down and distances this year as they hand it to Owens, plowing forward up the middle to move the chains.
And so far, it's a good drive by the Keller Indians. They're getting some of this run game established, and they're getting it early, and they're able to move the chains. They're going to have to keep doing this to at least take some pressure off the quarterback and get the ball down the field later on.
Strelo telling us during the week that Burkett, just a great athlete, starting center fielder on the baseball team last year as just a sophomore. Flags come out. False start on the Indians. The offense started to get a little momentum again, and penalty is going to move them back 5.
It's tough. It will ruin a drive, and instead of starting 1st and 10, now you're going to be 1st and 15. You just can't do those things, especially with, the strategy you have on the field. Burkett's not always the guys who get the ball down the field, so you're putting him in a tough spot.
We're commenting during the last break, the Carroll side traveled well this week, filled up the east side of the stadium here in Keller. They keep it on the ground again. Owens, big hold, leaps across the 50-yard line into Dragon territory. That'll shorten that down in distance right back up.
Again, staying behind Mahon, the sophomore, and register the TCU commit. He's the workhorse there. He's the prime guy. He's got a lot of height, a lot of length. Great job on kind of collapsing that right side and giving it room to run.
They break the huddle, get to the line quickly. Adams in motion. Pitch out to Owens, cuts it back inside, cuts across the field, and picks up the first down.
And again, they're finding this Keller offense is finding the rhythm that they need. They're getting that run game going, and they're explosive. They're hitting the holes hard, and they're getting an array of running backs involved here, which is a plus for the Indians.
Now it is Shropshire into the game at running back. He gets it as they keep it on the ground. Stood up shy of the 35 and brought down there. The first Dragon involved was Luke Bussman. Austin Bussman also coming over on the play.
Yeah, again, you're getting your 4-year starter, Tex Mahon, out there on pulling and really kind of an outside zone and getting him front side, doing a tremendous job. You follow Big 63, they're going to have some positive yards.
They're huddling up, but they're still moving with a little bit of tempo. A lot of bodies in motion as they get it to Shropshire. He has some room across the 25, inside the 15, and pushed out of bounds shy of the goal line by Ethan Fisher. But a lot of bodies motioning around before Shropshire got the ball for the big gain.
And Chris, this is an old school counter play by Mahon. Great job kicking out the end. But watch Shropshire, watch his speed when he gets in the open field. This is what he brings to the table. This is an excellent drive by the Keller Indians and what they're trying to establish.
"31-yard gain to get him into the red zone, but not much on 1st and goal. Owens on the carry, Browse on the stop. With Burkett, they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm here offensively.
They are. He's bringing another dimension to the offense, and as any defense, what does that mean for you? You've got a game plan for two different people. It's not always the easiest thing, Chris.
2nd and goal, ball at the 5. Still Owens in the game at running back, along with Burkett, the quarterback. Burkett will throw. Under pressure, flings one up to the end zone, and a lot of contact before the ball got there. Luke Langford dragged down Will Adams.
From the start, it was great. You know, you had William Chin on the blitz. Fedor came in, and they had him, disrupted the play. Then just pass interference on the back end.
A new set of downs inside the 5 for the Indians. We're still knocking on the door. It's been their best drive of the game.
But without a doubt.
It's been almost entirely on the ground. Shropshire back into the game at running back now. He gets it. Trying to find the end zone, and he is stopped just short. He thought he was in, but Dragons able to stop him just shy of the goal line. Zach Hayes brings him down.
And if I'm the Keller Indians, I'm getting right behind that TCU commit here, and we're going to go full steam in the end zone, get it behind the big guys.
Move the strong side of the formation behind them, give it to Shropshire again, pinballing his way in for the touchdown. Quentin Shropshire has Keller on the board, his first touchdown of the year. It's 17-6.
Again, getting behind Mahon and Killian, the right guard and right tackle. It's a pretty dynamic combo there. You got a young buck and a senior. The senior going to TCU, and you get down there within the 5, hand it off all day behind those two.
Well, the extra point be taken by Connick Whitmire out of the hold of Barron Brown. Daniel Hartzog, the long snapper for Keller, and Whitmire able to convert. So with 6:31 to go in the first half, it's Carroll 17, Keller 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Indians back to within 10, 17-7 to score, 6.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. You see Boyd and Jacquemart back to receive for the Dragons. Quentin Shropshire getting into the end zone for Keller, his first touchdown of the year. He's a guy that playing both ways for the Indians. He's not out there every snap on offense, but he's also one of their starting corners.
You just see the athleticism and the dynamic what he brings, and you know, he's one of those playmakers. You know, we talk about getting the ball in playmakers' hands, and they did a terrific job on last series. Their best drive of the game.
Macero kickoff. Going to bounce at the 10, fielded by Jacquemart there, running along the far sideline with some running room, and finally brought down across the 40-yard line, but a big return by Jacquemart. We've seen that from him a few times this year.
Luke is so dynamic running, and he's so explosive. This is why Coach Dodge loves him back in the back end on special teams and receiving. You get him a few inches, Chris, and he can bust it, and he has the chance to go the distance at any time.
He's been Carroll's leading kick returner this year. Coming into tonight, averaged 20 yards a return. So Angelo Renda will lead this Dragon offense back out onto the field, and Renda's been under pressure some tonight.
You know, there's a reason why Jurasek has 7 sacks on the year. They do a really good job on getting pressure on the quarterback and bringing them up and getting to them. And, you know, this is a look that Carroll hasn't seen a lot all year.
They show pressure from the outside here. They bring it. Renda to throw over the middle. It's caught by Boyd, running across the field at the 40. He gets inside the 20. He's going to outrun everybody into the end zone for the touchdown. One play, a 56-yard pitch and catch from Renda to Boyd, and just like that, the Dragons answer. It's 23-7.
Chris, you talk about Angelo Renda and his development. Watch him sit in the pocket here. Great protection. Delivers a strike on a slant route by Brock Boyd. And again, get your ball in the playmaker's hand. He's going to take it to the end zone. He's showing that speed. The TCU commit, phenomenal job.
Mentioned what Boyd has done the last couple of weeks. Add 56 more yards and another touchdown to that total, as the Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point is good off the foot of Gavin Strange. And with 6:15 to go, one play and a touchdown for the Dragons. They lead at 24-7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
One play, 56 yards. The drive for the Dragons. A quick answer to the Shropshire touchdown for Keller. And if you're Keller, you've held Carroll to 17 points. You score a touchdown, you get within 10. That has got to be a momentum killer along the sideline.
It's deflating. You know, you put together your best drive of the game. It's giving you an opportunity, and then you put Carroll's offense on the field, and they can strike at any time. And we talk about the Keller defense bringing the blitz, Chris, and, you know, the old adage, you live by the blitz, you can die by the blitz, and that was one of those moments.
They're going to bring this one out of the back of the end zone, and a huge hit end-over-end ball comes out. Is it live? They said it was, and Keller recovers it at its own 1-yard line. But it was Will Adams taking the ball out of the end zone for the Indians, and he is still down after that big hit, but he was 8 yards deep and decided to come out with it.
Yeah, tough decision on coming out of the end zone on that. And this, I believe this is Marcus Browse here. What a tremendous hit by Browse. And unfortunately, he didn't know it's still a live ball, and that could have been an opportunity for the Dragons to get in the end zone. Either way, tremendous job getting down the field. Again, special teams executing.
Adams now being helped to his feet by the athletic training staff of the Indians. But you started to talk about the blitz for Keller after that Massero kickoff. And a lot of times they bring Jurasek through the middle. On that Boyd touchdown reception, as you see Adams coming off the field there, on the Boyd touchdown reception, they brought the two outside linebackers, and it opened things up.
You got to be careful with that, especially in a 3-3 stack, because that leaves your middle very wide open. And you're talking about those slant routes, which, you know, connected to Boyd on. You can live by that blitz, or you die by that blitz, Chris. And with that defense, they got to be very careful with it. They typically only bring Jurasek, but for Keller, you just got to be careful what you do out there.
They are at the 1-yard line, looking 99 yards down the field. Burkett in the game at quarterback. He keeps it, just trying to get a little bit of breathing room, and he does get out to the 4-yard line, picks up about 3.
Again, great job by William Chin coming up and making the play. You know they're going to keep it either in his hand or Owens out of the backfield here and just try to get some breathing room. This is an opportunity for the Dragons defense. They can make a statement, and you can pin them back if you have an opportunity to get a safety.
They've done that once this year. It is Owens in the backfield. Still taking the snap out of his own end zone. They give it to Owens, trying to find some running room, and gets right back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing else. He was almost taken down for a loss back to the 1.
What I love about this, again, they brought the 2 guards to try and do a little outside zone and pull them both front side. And Zach Hayes, talk about selling out. Dude, that's how you spill a run play. Almost pancake, but he met the offensive lineman in the backfield and took him straight on. That's what you got to do, change the trajectory of the running back.
We'll see if they just run it here to try to get some more room for a punt, or if they go to the air with Burkett. He hasn't thrown it a lot this year. And before they do make a decision, Carl Strelo wants to take a timeout. With 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's Carroll 24 and Keller 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
So a third down for Keller inside its own 5-yard line. Burkett in there at quarterback. He's going to throw. Looking to pass from his own end zone. Under pressure, tucks it to run, and he's going to be dragged down shy of the 10. That's shy of the first down marker as well, and it will be 4th down for the Indians. They'll have to punt.
Great job by Robbie Ladd on getting a tackle out in space and preventing a rushing by Burkett to the first down. But again, on the backside, Austin Davidge on the closing speed, on putting the pressure and flushing him out of the pocket. That's a great stand by the Carroll Dragon. They're going to get it back with some good field position here.
Started with a good special teams play. Forced fumble after the kick was taken out of the end zone by Adams. Carroll late bringing an 11th player onto the field. Just gets it away barely. A low line drive kick. Jacquemart waits for it, fields it on a hop, and brought down right about where he picked it up. But Dragons almost got home on that one. Busman putting some pressure on Jacob Just. And Carroll will start in Keller territory.
You talk about the special teams and everything. We talked about it a lot this game, and it's been a big factor in the prior games. You know, for also any coaches out there, youth football guys, you know, if you can excel on the special teams area, I tell you what, it is a commitment for your players to do, but it can change the course of the game at any moment.
Just over 4 minutes to go before halftime. We'll have the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show coming up in just a little bit. First, this Carroll offense trying to put some more points on the board as Renda will throw. Jacquemart in the flat. Spins forward down to the 41. Picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen this out to Jacquemart, and it is part of their belt per se on offense to get out to Jacquemart. You had Brock Boyd and Blake Gunner on the double teaming the corner there. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to be on the other side of that one.
Tight end goes in motion. Bobrovsky off left tackle. Hand it to Penn. Hit immediately in the backfield and taken down. Big hit by Jurasek. You can see the size coming in to that Carroll offensive line.
Again, it's just a simple counter play. You have Trent Wilson here trying to kick out in the end. Most of the Carroll offensive linemen are blocking down. It just didn't take into account for Jurasek. And you get him coming downhill, that's a punishing tackler.
Big guy, a champion wrestler as well in his weight class. And as Robert mentioned earlier, going to play at Air Force at the next level. Play clock kicking down, and Riley Dodge will spend a timeout, his second of the half. We will step aside as well. Just under 3 minutes to play before halftime. It's Carroll 24 and Keller 7 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 Dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Dragons head coach Riley Dodge opting to use his second timeout before this third down play late in the first half. Brenda and Penn in the backfield for Carroll. Gunter goes in motion to the right. They give it to Penn running up the middle, and he's not going to get to the marker. Picks up a couple of yards across the 40, but he is stopped well short of the first down line. It's kind of that in-between area, though, and it looks like the Dragons are going to go for it.
Yeah, I think Riley obviously knew going ahead. He was in 2-down territory here on 3rd and 4th down, just trying to get a little bit of that yardage back up.
4th and 4. Brenda completes it. Gunter caught shy of the marker and driven out of bounds. There on the hit was Baron Brown, the junior cornerback, and the Dragons do turn it over on downs. Keller defense comes up with a stop.
A big stop for the Keller defense, and that's what they needed. They had that quick strike, that long drive, and then Carroll had that quick strike touchdown. They had to get an opportunity here to get the ball back and get some points on the board before half.
Dragons still leading by 17. 2:14 to go before halftime. Robinson back into the game at quarterback now. They've had success with Burkett as the quarterback, keeping the ball on the ground with their array of running backs. They do keep it on the ground here. Owens hitting the backfield and taken down for a loss. It's Lucky and Hayes, the first two there.
I tell you what, Hayes and Lucky are making their name known tonight. Lucky is playing out of his mind, and Hayes is doing a great job filling in. Just comes unscathed, unblocked, and then Lucky just getting off that block and making the tackle on the backfield. Tremendous job by those two.
Lucky has gotten a big push inside all season long, and even more so tonight. Second and 12. They bring Chen, delayed pressure. This one is complete along the far sideline. Driven out of bounds by Marcus Browse is Brock Meek.
It's a great job by Browse on just getting on him and getting him down and not allowing the yards after catch. And again, this Dragon defense has seen two different offenses when the two different quarterbacks come in tonight, and it's keeping them on their toes.
3rd and 8. Robinson under pressure. He's going to be hit and he's going to be sacked. Two Dragons in there. Davidge and Fisher combine to take him down. It's going to be 4th and long for the Indians.
It's a great job. Ethan Fisher coming out of this cornerback area. You'll see him off the right-hand side of the screen. Tremendous job getting that edge, and watch his relentless pursuit to the quarterback. And then who else behind him? Davidge. Just an incredible job on getting those edge players involved.
Well, it looked like the corner blitz maybe helped both of them get home because Regis Day leaned towards Fisher, which allowed Davidge to get inside. Ended up missing both of them.
Well, you create confusion, right? And so that's what you're hoping to do with those blitzes, especially those tackles. You want them to have to think for half a second on where they're going, and they did a great job in execution of that. And so that little bit of confusion opens up the blitz.
And for Fisher, did not have a sack yet this year. See if they give him a full or a half on that one.
That's might be, tomorrow in the game film. They're watching game film. Hey, I'll give you an extra star if you give me that sack. I don't know.
The DB coaches are going to be like, it's a full.
Yep.
Another punt for Jackamard to receive. Just under a minute to go here in the quarter. End over end takes a strong Keller bounce. Jackamard touches it, lost it, and who has it? Keller thinks they do, and the officials say they do. Coming up with it for the Indians is Jace Frankie, and maybe a situation where Jackamard may have been well served to let it go.
It was. You were talking about the special teams playing a big part of this game. On the flip side now against Carroll on it, it gives Keller Indians tremendous field position here heading into the half. they've got to execute on this drive.
Jackamar go back to try to field it. Flag comes in. Like there's still some unsportsmanlike on the Keller sideline. And just after you get the big momentum shifter.
You haven't even ran a play yet, Chris, and you're now 1st and 25.
And you've only got 51 seconds, even if you can pick up 25 yards, to move the ball 33 yards. You were originally inside the 20. They blow this dead again. Moving the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10. Ball just backed up 15 yards to the 33. Robinson still in there at quarterback. Loses the snap, picks it up, gets rid of it, and completes it. And a huge hit along the near sideline by Marcus Browse. But Meek held on to it. Or Owens held on to it, rather. And he is shaken up, getting up off the turf, but appears to be okay. Now the Dragons hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
So again, that's like a wash. It is bringing them back up. I mean, a great play by Browse, great hit. But I tell you what, I mean, penalties are playing a factor here, and you got to be careful. You know, you give Beckett Robinson time; he's going to deliver those throws, and we're seeing it tonight. He can get in those spots and look for him again, getting in the red zone and delivering in the tight areas.
Keller trying to come up with some points before halftime. Pressure, Robinson complete to Venables. And inside the 10 he goes.
A great job, a great open field tackle by Luke Bussman. You know, that's a tough play. You have a big guy, a big tight end there, and open field probably outweighs you by 30, 40 pounds.
Strelo will use his final timeout. On the board, they have Carroll using its final timeout. Now they both say 0. There's a timeout. Keller trying to punch it into the end zone for a second time this half. Again, Feed Store Barbecue halftime show coming up. We'll take a look at first half stats. We'll also begin with the Dragons on the road by watching the Emerald Bells and the Dragon Marching Band. One other game going on in district play tonight, Eaton up on Central 28-0 at halftime. The other 4 teams in action this week all played last night. Northwest 42-7 over LD Bell, and Byron Nelson 27-7 over Timber Creek right here in this stadium.
We talked about it last week. You know, those really that 4th spot in this district play is going to be kind of up for grabs. And, you know, Coach Darlow said, you know, we might have shot ourselves in the foot last week versus Justin. And, you know, you're looking at probably really a 2-team race for that 4th place spot.
Keller with district wins over LD Bell and Central, but a loss to Northwest. 26 seconds to go in the half. Robinson will throw. Goes end zone, has a man, and it is caught for the touchdown. Meek on the receiving end of the pass from Robinson. From Meek, that is touchdown number 2 on the year, and it's 24-13.
Again, caught the Dragons on a blitz, and great route by Meek getting into the outside, and tremendous throw by Robinson. You know, talk about his poise and delivering strikes and delivering it to a spot. He executed right there. And I can't tell you that's what the Indians needed going into half.
They get it with 20 seconds to go before halftime. The extra point off the foot of Whitmire is good. With 20 seconds to go, we will keep it here. Carroll leading 24-14 now, and Will Adams, who left the game, haven't seen him back out there yet, but we'll see if he comes back for the second half. He came out of the game after that big hit on the kick return, but it hasn't been Adams. It's been Meek who's kind of been the go-to receiver tonight for the Indians.
Yeah, they found a connection tonight, and credit a lot to Meek. He's running some great routes, and he's finding a way to get open, and he's making tough catches. And Robinson is delivering strikes. I mean, we've seen two different offenses, one led by Robinson and one led by Burkett, get on the scoreboard. So, I made the comment earlier that I don't like that system very much, but I'll tell you what, it's working out for Keller right now.
One touchdown with Robinson, one with Burkett as the signal caller. Meek now 4 catches, 42 yards, and that touchdown tonight. We get ready for the Macero kickoff. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame, this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Enzo Forturo to kick it off. Jacquemart and Boyd back to receive with 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. Fielded by Jacquemart. And he gets up to the 25. And with no timeouts left, see if Carroll tries to take a couple of shots or run out the clock. Jacquemart tried to get up and walk off the field on his own, but goes down after the fact as the athletic training staff comes out to take a look at him. Jacquemart's had some big plays tonight for the Dragons.
He's such an impactful player. He's got so much speed, and he's just a playmaker. You hate to see this right now, Chris. He's just such a dynamic player.
A lot of games so far this year, we've seen the outside receivers, Knowles and Boyd, be heavily involved. But tonight it seems like the slot guys, Gunter and Jacquemart, have kind of been the featured pass catchers for Angelo Renda.
Yeah, I think it comes down to game planning and what you're getting from the defense. And there is a soft spot here, and it's going to be in between those outside linebackers that play so wide. And you can get them out of coverage, right? You can get them belling, and they're going to play that cover 3, that cover 4 at times where they're going to get a lot of space there in the middle. And I think the Dragons are executing on that tonight.
Looking around the district, Northwest, as we talked about those scores earlier, Northwest with the win last night stays undefeated at 5-0, 3-0 in district play. So they are tied with the Dragons for first in district right now. Byron Nelson and Trinity each have at least one loss. Byron Nelson has 2. Those are kind of the 3 that you would think would be playoff contenders in 4-6A, as you see Jacquemart being helped off the field there. Not putting a lot of weight on his right leg. They will take him back to the locker room with just 14 seconds to go before halftime. This Carroll offense see if they just run it out or take a shot. 2 safeties playing very deep for the Indians back across the 40. Not even in the picture right now.
Yeah, I would expect the Dragons to at least take a shot at some point here.
Penn trying to bounce it outside, cuts back towards the middle of the field and goes down, and that will run out the clock on the first half of play. So Keller defense helping keep the Indians in this one after a half of play. After one half, it is Carroll 24, Keller 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons!
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Stephen Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
band made 16 appearances at the Texas UIL State Marching Contest, including 2 UIL State Championships. They are Bands of America Regional, Super Regional, and Grand National finalists, and in 2021 were named the recipient of the prestigious International John Philip Sousa Sutler Shield. Dragon Band is under the field direction of head drum major Andrew Keller, seniors Jonathan Ueda and Chloe Blanchard, and juniors Alec Al-Nasri and Bailey Reinke. Color guard captain is Miriam Etheridge. Lieutenants are Aditi Crowder, Chika Soletti, Avery Kress, and Daniela Aguilar. Band members of the week are Siona Shrishna, Nicola Draconic. Band leader of the week is Uzair Hoshman. Guard member of the week is Natalia Murray, and the band section of the week is Melodic. Tonight, the Dragon Band presents a fresh 2024 competition show of glory. Soloists are Megan Carroll, Julian Fisk, Sophia Campbell, Mr. O Extraordinary Pizza, Cottage Bluff, Harbor Pediatrics, Stampede, presented by Disney's Ghost.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whites Chapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified trained dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, offering dependable nationwide coverage on all three major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone and keep your number, too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/dragons or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code DRAGONS.
The Dragon Den is your home for the best selection of Dragon fan gear in town. We offer many styles and sizes, and we're your Dragon Hat headquarters. 100% of your purchase supports our student athletes and UIL sports grades 7 through 12. We're open weekly during all home football games and most Tuesdays and Fridays 11 to 2. We're everything Dragon. Interested in volunteering with us? We need adult and high school volunteers to work during hours we are open. That's the Dragon Den at Dragon Stadium. Go Dragons!
Halftime at Keller ISD Athletic Complex, just down 17:09 from Carroll High School. The Dragons lead at 24-14 at the break. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you. As this Keller defense has held its own against the Dragon offense and the offense has come up with a couple of timely touchdowns to keep it a 10-point game at the break.
And I think it'd be a little bit closer too if Keller didn't, shoot themselves on the foot on a few drives, Chris. And we're seeing that stingy defense of Keller that was coming in averaging about 16 points a game. And someone that Coach Arlo talked about, they're really the whole team essentially. The offense is, you probably saw in the first half, a little hit and miss. You're rotating basically two different offenses as you come in with two different quarterbacks. But they found success and they've gone on a roll. Now, I would say that last touchdown was, more on the Dragon special teams area, giving them an opportunity. But again, part of those opportunities capitalized them, and they did.
Talk about shooting themselves in the foot. 6 penalties, including a couple personal fouls and a pass interference call on the Indians tonight that gave the Dragons some good field position. But Carroll has had more penalties tonight than they characteristically do.
Yeah, they have. And I think a little bit of I don't know if it's so much of just the feeling of the game, or, you're playing against a team like Keller where it's going to be a little chippy from here and there, that you're on high alert. But we've seen physical play, and you can get penalties from time to time. Some of them have been personal foul calls. I mean, this is a chippy game, and the guys are going after each other. They're tackling hard. They're making big plays, and both teams know what's at stake here.
Looking at some of the numbers from the first half for the Dragons, 136 total yards, 53 total yards for Keller in tonight's game. Davis Penn, 10 carries, 45 yards. Angelo Renda, 10 of 16. Or check that, 136 passing yards for the Dragons, I should say. Angelo Renda, 10 of 16 for 136 yards. Penn has has 2 of the Dragon touchdowns. The other one came through the air, and you tack on a field goal by Gavin Strange. 4 catches each for Blake Gunter and Brock Boyd, 2 for Luke Jacquemart tonight. For Keller, 81 of the yards have come on the ground. They've split the carries fairly evenly. Kyle Owens, 10 for 31. Quentin Shropshire, 5 for 50. Brock Burkett, the backup quarterback, 4 for 10. They've also gotten Guy Gonzalez involved as well. Through the air tonight, Beckham Robinson, 6 of 8 for 53 yards. And his favorite target has been Brock Meek. So look at some of the individual numbers from the first half. And Robert, your keys to the game that we looked at just before the start of this one started with winning the battle on the edge for the Dragons.
And you kind of circled that a little bit of, there's going to be some dynamic players on the field tonight with Van Dorsler and, Keller's right tackle, Killian Ridgway, going to TCU. As the game developed here in the very first quarter, we noticed that Van Dorsler wasn't on the field, but it really hasn't slowed down that front four for Southlake, and they've been getting a lot of pressure on the edge, and I think they've done a great job on that. I think they've got to keep capitalizing that here in the second half. And on the flip side, I think Keller's edge pressure has put him into some vulnerable situations with giving us some big plays for the Dragons.
The other 2 you had were know your opponent and get the triplets in rhythm.
Well, I think know your opponent. Starlo is kind of known as the Mad Hatter at times, that he can kind of pull tricks out of his hat. We haven't seen a lot of that, so like gadgetry, we might see a little bit here in the second half. And your opponent. Southlake's got to know that Keller, this is their Super Bowl. Any team that plays Southlake, they want to beat them, and especially Keller. They always fight hard against Southlake. They always take this. They raise their game up a little bit more. And so on the back end, on getting triplets in rhythm, Chris, I think ultimately we're seeing that. We've seen Penn with 2 touchdowns. We've seen Renda with a long strike. And, we've seen Brock Boyd, closing in on the century mark in receiving yards. And those 3 have played a lot of football together. They grew up in the DYF leagues. They played together in middle school. They were together there in their freshman year. They're just doing a tremendous job, and this is kind of, hey, get them rolling. It's hard to stop those 3.
Let's look at revisiting Robert's keys to the game. Penn's been on the field a lot, more than he has had to be on there for most of the season so far. Obviously, no Riley Wormley tonight, so Davis Penn will be leaned on a little bit more for the Dragons, and he's been able to shoulder the workload so far. A couple of touchdowns tonight, a big reason why Carroll is in front by 10 at the break. So we'll take a quick break as well here on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. When we come back, take a look around the district, some of the other big games going on in North Texas tonight on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store Barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Hey Dragon Nation, it's Tommy Pennington with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Like you, I'm fired up about supporting my Carroll Dragons each year on and off the field. We want the best for our kids, and that's why we're all Dragons. I'm a longtime Southlake resident that knows the real estate market and knows how to get great results. Like your kids, you deserve the best too. Call us today at 817-416-9000. Check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon family to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
Back at Keller ISD Athletic Complex, Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you at halftime. Dragons by 10, 24-14 over the Indians. As we take a look around the rest of District 4-6A to start, two of the games were last night. Northwest beat LD Bell 42-7, sending Northwest to 5-0 on the year, 3-0 in district play as they step up from 5A to 6A competition this season. LD Bell now 0-4 in the district. Byron Nelson beat Timber Creek 27-7. Timber Creek has another tough one next week playing Trinity. Nelson's two losses, even at 1-2, are to the Dragons and the Trojans. So Byron Nelson has, maybe the toughest part of its schedule done and over with. So you would expect to see them in contention. But as we get ready for each of these games every week, I know this is not logistically possible to happen for the entire season, but it seems like every team has Carroll, Byron Nelson, and Trinity in a row. I know it's not possible for everyone to have that, but the way the schedule's stacked out or played out for the Dragons so far, that is kind of how it's worked.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Dragons having a tougher schedule up front here, but then you get in the back plate district, and not saying that it's going to be a walk through a cupcake, but you're not playing the likes of Trinity and Byron Nelson. But it's interesting, the Northwest team is undefeated. They're going to be one of those teams who's going to be competing for that last spot. And this is their first year in 6A. So it's a pretty impressive start so far for the Texans.
And the schedule does shake out that way for Keller as well. After tonight, the Indians play Byron Nelson and then Trinity before finishing with Timber Creek and Eaton. And Timber Creek has been in the mix for that playoff spot as well. So a tough 4-game stretch for Keller coming up. And then the one other game going on in the district right now is Keller Central at Eaton. And Eaton leading that one 28-0 as they get going into the third quarter. There, Trinity has its bye this week. Again, in a 9-team district, one team is going to be on a bye every single week. A couple other big games in the area. Denton Geyer hosting Coppell. Cowboys lead that one 14-10 in the third quarter. That one out of 5-6A. We talked about 5-6A when the Dragons played Hebron. That is a deep district. And the Hawks right now leading Flower Mound Marcus 24-6. So a couple of big matchups at the 6A level in that district. Three of the biggest teams, or the best teams in the state in 6A, all on byes this week in North Crowley, DeSoto, and Duncanville. So none of those teams in action this week. They all pick it back up a week from today.
And vice versa for Carroll. Their bye week comes at the end of the season.
Last week of the year.
Which gives them a little bit of buffer going into the playoffs, which hasn't been a normal thing for Carroll. They typically have a bye week during the middle of the season, but give them an opportunity to heal up a little bit before playoffs.
And really the marquee game in all of DFW tonight in Aledo, hosting Denton Ryan, the top two teams in the state at the 5A Division I level. Denton Ryan leading 27-14 on the road. A little bit of surprise there.
Well, it is, and I wouldn't count Aledo out yet. I mean, they have a lot of history and a lot of tradition as well. But Denton Ryan, they're kind of, from what I'm seeing this year, they're becoming the team to beat.
One other one I noted in District 4-5A Division II, Lovejoy at Melissa. That's Todd Dodge, the former Dragon head coach. In a game that could determine that district's considered one of the toughest in the entire state, and that game is tied at 21 at halftime. We get set for the start of the third quarter here in Keller. The Dragons a 10-point lead over the Indians at halftime, 24-14. Thanks for hanging out with us on the halftime show presented by Feed Store Barbecue. Our broadcast brought to you by White's Chapel Methodist Church, as Dragons look like they're making sure the Indians don't try an onside kick here. Carroll does get the ball first here in the third quarter. Kickoff's brought to you by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. Brock Boyd fields it at the 15-yard line, has some running room up the middle. Across the 40, flag comes in, gets to midfield, and steps out of bounds. But a flag was thrown on the return. A big return for Boyd. It's going to be a hold against Carroll on the return, so that'll back him up.
Very unfortunate on the kickoff return team for Carroll. People sitting at home, you can see the burst from Brock Boyd. And again, we talk about playmakers being on that back end. That was a great run. Again, got to clean up the blocking a little bit, not get a holding there. But it's something that we're seeing on this Dragon special teams, the explosiveness on the back end.
So offensively for Carroll, Jacquemart left the game late in the second quarter. We come out with the tight end set here. Renda, play fake, throws far sideline, flag the opposite side of the field away from the ball. That one was hauled in by Brody Knowles. Brock Boyd is pointing like it's against Keller. They picked up the flag. Ball up to the 34. Knowles picks up the first down, his first reception of the day. He goes in motion here. Give it a pen. Finds some room across the 40 and brought down. A touchdown-saving tackle potentially made by Keller's Baron Brown.
It looks like is there a flag on the field?
There is another one. Another personal foul against Keller. It's the third personal foul against the Indians tonight.
Again, the penalties themselves for Keller, we've talked about how they can just change the dynamic of the game. You're seeing the effect of it, here tonight. But again, the Dragons sticking on the ground and great vision by Penn on the inside zone. Almost broke her for a touchdown.
On first down in Keller territory, Penn trying to pick his way through. Nothing there. He is going to be pushed backward by Landon Mall, the nose tackle, the first one in on the stop.
A great job by Landon Mall, just staying put, playing in his gap, and staying home and sniffing out that zone, that inside zone. And big play for Keller. They're going to need those plays. They got to put Southlake in those third down situations.
Knowles in motion again. 2nd and 11. Renda with time. Over the middle, Boyd snatches it away from a defender and picks up the first down. One of the defensive backs for Keller eyes got big, and Boyd came out of nowhere to take it away from him.
Great protection by the offensive line. And watch Rinda, great job just being poised in the pocket, finding Boyd, delivering a strike. But look at Boyd just coming out of nowhere, coming back on the route, which is an incredible job by Boyd. And I tell you what, he has some great hands.
Jumped up in front of the linebacker, Luke Andrews. Andrews was just kind of sitting back waiting for it. Boyd went up and got it. He'll throw again. Looking end zone, has a man. It is caught for the touchdown. Boyd is, for the second time tonight, finds the end zone, and Carroll scores on its opening possession of the second half.
And Chris, I think Boyd is approaching that century mark in receiving yards already tonight. Great throw by Rinda. Again, this is something they've done for almost probably 7 years. The connection between Boyd and Rinda is incredible. Great job by Boyd. Touchdown, Dragons.
So Boyd now has done it twice tonight. And the Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point is converted by Gavin Strange. So less than 2 minutes into the quarter, Carroll is on the board again. It's the Dragons 31 and the Indians 14 on the Dragons Sports Network.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place. From the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched, we're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
This is Dr. Mark Greenberg, team physician for the Carroll Dragons. All-Star Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine providers of Dragon Athletics. Our 8 board-certified orthopedic specialists offer surgical as well as non-surgical treatments for a full range of orthopedic injuries and conditions, with on-site imaging and physical therapy, along with best-in-class outpatient and inpatient surgical facilities. You can trust that we will be there with you every step of the way. Let us get you back in the game.
Brock Boyd's second touchdown reception of the night has the Dragons in front 31-14. This one returnable for the Indians and up across the 25-yard line for Keller, where the offense will start. Kickoffs powered by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Macero, where love is always on the house. Well, with that reception, Brock Boyd, 6 grabs, 111 yards tonight. Got 5 touchdown catches in the last 3 games. This one over the middle, it falls incomplete. Meek, the intended receiver, but he never had possession, according to the officials.
And Chris, we talked about Brock Boyd in the pregame about what makes him so dynamic, and we don't have a lot of words left to describe adjectives about how good he is. And if you're watching at home and you're a young Dragon, what you see with Brock Boyd on the field doesn't happen on Fridays. He practices like this all week long, and it's the same effort day in and day out. And he goes one speed, he goes full speed, he goes to the whistle. So it's not a surprise of what he's doing here tonight.
Keep it on the ground with Owens for a game of 9. Boyd was a first-team All-District performer as a sophomore last year. Owens plows forward. They are going to wave the chains along. That was enough to move the sticks. Short gain by the senior running back. We're seeing Robinson in here at quarterback to start the third quarter. Both quarterbacks led scoring drives for Keller in the first half. Burkett led a drive on which the Indians kept it on the ground for the most part. Robinson through the air more. This one over the middle, intended for Meek again. Broken up by Fedor, and a flag comes in. May have been broken up by Lines. Discussion going on. You're going to say Lions got there a little too early. We're targeting Meek over the middle.
Again, that's been a big target for Robinson all game. And I tell you what, the Lions, he was there about half a step a little early. But anyways, you'd rather have that than give a big play, and it happens from time to time.
Got Sean Harris and is that tight end H-back through the Indians now as Robinson looks to throw under pressure coming from behind, and he's brought down. Another sack for the Dragons tonight. This time it's Zach Hayes again.
And we talked about Zach Hayes tonight, just filling in for Van Dorsler. What an incredible job off the edge. And listen, he's going against a pretty big stud there going to TCU, and he just beats him with pure quickness off the edge. A nice little move, a little rip swim move. Great job getting the quarterback to the ground. I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with how Zach Hayes has stepped up and met the challenge tonight.
Some of these sacks, you got to give some credit to the secondary for the Dragons, as they've held him off Robinson for a few seconds, but there's just nobody open. He steps back here, going deep down the middle of the field, looking for Meek. It is incomplete, broken up by Luke Bussman.
Great job by Luke Bussman. That pass was kind of telegraphed in a sense, Chris, and great job being patient and not causing a pass interference call, but timing it just right and get up and making the pass break up.
Meek got a hand on it. Bussman able to knock it away. 3rd and long, 16 yards to go for the Indians. Misdirection, ball's on the ground, and Keller able to get back on it. That is Shropshire, the junior running back. They tried some misdirection there, but they fumble the handoff.
It was an interesting call there on 3rd down and 16 on a misdirection handoff there. I thought you try to move the sticks there, but again, the Dragons bring pressure off that edge. Again, great job by the Dragons on taking the opportunity and on being disciplined, recovering after that pass interference, and doing a great job.
Just to punt it away, Boyd to receive, calls for the fair catch and makes it. Brock Boyd returned a lot of punts last year for this Carroll team. Out there tonight after Jacquemart left the game in the first half. Carroll gets it back now, and this is kind of the time of the game when the Dragons can keep their foot on the gas and really extend the lead.
Well, they definitely can, and they ultimately need to put another score on the board to feel comfortable, I would say, in some respects. But then, again, this is another opportunity on just establishing your will in the run game and moving the ball down the field methodically.
Keller late getting an 11th player onto the field. Shropshire, the corner, does get back out there. They hand it to Penn. Big hole up the middle across midfield. There's no safety deep. One man to beat. Foot race with Shropshire. He dives at the last moment. Can't touch him. And Davis Penn to the house. 62 yards. His 3rd touchdown of the night. And it's 37-14.
Just wow, Chris. Just wow, wow, wow. Watch it on the right side here as Tristan Dare and Brokowski open up the floodgates for Davis Penn. He goes untouched from level 1, level 2 to level 3, and he sees pay dirt. Tremendous job, Davis Penn. Touchdown, Dragons.
Tommy Pennington, Compass Group, extra point try. Said this is where the Dragons could break it open, and one play later they do. Lemmerman knocks it through. That is the second one-play drive of 50 or more yards for Carroll tonight. Quick strike offense for the Dragons this evening. With 7:43 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Carroll 38, Keller 14 on the Dragons Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Davis Penn now with 13 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns tonight for Carroll. Helping lead the Dragons to a 38-14 margin over Keller. In the third quarter is the Macero kickoff off the foot of Gavin Strange. Bounces in the end zone. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Macero, where love is always on the house. So Davis Penn is going to be asked to carry the ball a little bit more, and talked about how he did that last year before Riley Wormley was able to get on the field. In 5 games before Wormley last year, Penn gained 670 yards and scored 9 touchdowns.
He's already at 3 tonight. Just pretty incredible for the young man. He's just such a dynamic inside zone run player, and he's just a tremendous leader for this Dragon team as well.
Burkett to throw, too strong, intended for Meek. Or check that, intended for Bodie Davis. Penn had 5 total touchdowns coming into tonight, 4 on the ground, 1 through the air. So that gives him 8 on the season. Talked about pregame, he scored 30 touchdowns last year.
He has a knack to get in the end zone, Chris. He is electric on finding pay dirt.
Delayed handoff up the middle. That is Gonzalez, the running back.
Again, great job from Ethan Fisher coming down, coming back from the secondary spot and making a big hit there. It's Keller team, you're running the ball. I would have thought they might have Beckham Robinson back in the game, just trying to move the ball through the air down the field a little more efficiently to try to put some points on the board, Chris.
Davis in motion. Owens gets it up the middle. That'll move the chains. I guess one of the things with the Burkett offense is that it holds possession a little bit longer. Dragons have scored very quickly a few times tonight. Owens again trying to get outside. Big hole up the middle across midfield. He's brought down finally at the 30 by Fisher, but a big gain for Kyle Owens into Dragon territory down to the 29-yard line.
Again, just a little inside zone as well for the Keller Indians. And Owens, he gets right behind his right side of the line. And again, unfazed on the first and second level. And then great job by the Dragons on corralling him and getting to the ground. Great job by Ethan Fisher.
34-yard gain on that play as they keep it on the ground. It is Guy Gonzalez back in the game on that carry. This is kind of what we saw in the first scoring drive that Burkett led. A lot of running backs coming in and out of the game, but they were effective with it.
Yeah, they're rolling it through, and, Burkett, again, gives that different dimension to the offense. And, they've been able to move the ball with him at quarterback, but it's really kind of been the platoon of running backs coming in and out that are giving the opportunities to move the ball.
The pass this time. Doesn't see anything he likes, trying to take off and run with it, and he's going to be dropped for a loss in the backfield. Will Lyons, the first one back there, and Austin Davidge there to clean it up.
Incredible job by Will Lyons getting the pressure, and then we talk about the motor of Austin Davidge. It just doesn't stop, and he's constantly moving and great takedown on the quarterback. I tell you what, the second effort from the Dragons is what you love seeing. They never quit on a play.
So that sack negated the yards that Gonzalez picked up on first down. Owens back into the game at running back, and they give it to him. Across the 25, down to the 20. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Let's see if they go for it here, down 38-14. Looks like they will, moving quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Keep it on the ground. Owens going to be hit in the backfield and stopped. The Indians turn it over on downs.
Incredible job by the Dragon. What a stand. Coming off the edge here, you're going to see William Chin. Watch him get down and get down on the heel line. An incredible takedown on Owens. I tell you what, we've talked a lot about Chin and that pressure off the edge tonight. We talked about winning the edge game. They're doing it tonight.
When they come up with the 4th down stop after the big 30-plus yard gain by Owens, felt like the Indians had something going. The Dragon defense comes up big.
Huge stop for the Dragon defense. And, if you're Keller, that deflates you just a little bit. Just giving – sometimes we've always talked about this. Keeping the Dragons offense off the field is sometimes the best weapon you can have.
Penn back there again with Renda. Renda looking to take a deep shot, throws one down the sideline for Boyd. It is caught as he steps out of bounds. What a throw by Renda to put it along the sideline. A flag came out as Boyd ran step for step with the defender down the Indian sideline. This may be against Keller anyway. Robert Renda couldn't have put that in a better spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, just Renda throwing the poise in the pocket and delivering the strikes. But Boyd, more than anything, you're seeing he's going through the route tree tonight, essentially, and you see him not only going, man on man on these corners. When he gets those opportunity, you're going to take Boyd every single time. He gets behind that defender about as good as anyone. Watch here on the replay. Great throw by Renda. And watch the catch by Boyd. I mean, just incredible into the breadbasket. 1 foot in. Incredible job.
It's good for 37. Somehow kept a foot in bounds. As Penn gets it, almost saw that burst for Penn, but he was grabbed from behind by Jurasek and dragged backwards. But Penn was a half step away from hitting that hole and taking it again.
You see it, and that's where you see for what's so exciting about Penn and what he brings to the table is when he hits that hole, he hits it so fast. And I tell you what, and he gets the second level. It's about as quick as the one that we see.
Not a lot for a running back that not a lot of DBs can catch. Something you don't always see. Saw him outrun Shropshire to the end zone on that last long touchdown run. Renda keeps it this time. Left side taken down inside the 15.
That's a design little run that we haven't seen a lot, but I think as Renda gets more comfortable, they're going to open that up for him in the gameplay. And that, again, we talked about it being a little bit of a different dimension that Southlake hasn't rolled out quite a bit. Just quarterback-wise, hasn't been in the playbook.
New set of downs for the Dragons inside the red zone. All at the Keller 13. Give it to Penn. Big hole up the middle. He's into the end zone for the 4th time tonight. Davis Penn taking this Dragons backfield on his back. Has Carroll up 30.
Davis Penn, incredible job. Again, watch how fast he hits this hole. It's just an inside zone between Luke Wilson and Trent Wilson, the Blindside brothers. Not even touched until he gets to the 3rd level. Incredible job finding Pater. Those were the 30 touchdowns we saw last year from Davis Penn.
Tommy Pennington Compass Group point after. Gavin Strange on forward out of the hold of Hayes. This one is up and through with 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Carroll has very quickly scored 21 unanswered points here in the 3rd quarter and leads it 45-14 with 3:30 to go in the frame on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons! Dragons up 45-14 after a sixth-place 78-yard drive that took just a minute and 23 seconds and ended in Davis Penn's fourth touchdown run of the night. Kickoff brought to you by Macero Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Macero and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake. Macero, where love is always on the house. This one will go through the end zone for a touchback. And Robert, talk about Davis Penn getting through the hole in a hurry. What is it about him? What does he do well where, because a lot of running backs around the state are going to see holes in the offensive line, but what does he do well that allows him to get that burst into the next level and find the end zone with frequency?
Well, I think it's not only just his natural speed, but his vision. When you're confident in your vision and what you want to see, you can kind of anticipate where things are going to happen. And his initial commitment to that hole, and when it sees it, his burst is so incredible that he can get in that second level. And the majority of the time you watch Davis Penn run, he's typically in that second level before anyone's even touched him. And that's just some of that's just a God-given gift, Chris.
Crawford Taylor, a nice stop on Kyle Owens for a loss of about a half yard on first down. Robinson back in the game at quarterback for the Indians. Get a look at the Dragons sideline there. Under 3 to go. Robinson to throw. Over the middle. This is incomplete. Was looking to connect with Cash Erdman, the sophomore.
Ethan Fisher just all over it. Great job on the coverage. And, the secondary, believe it or not, is getting tested by this Keller, quarterback and company with Beckham Robinson. He's delivered some good strikes and he's found some open targets. But I think the mentality on the Dragon defense is they've bent a little bit. They haven't broken.
Well, one of the things we've kind of talked about is both quarterbacks have gotten into rhythm at times, but almost haven't been allowed to continue, as we see a swarm of Dragons here on the stop shy of the first down marker. That was Moreno on the carry.
Yeah, I think it's just, they've been the victim of their own poison, essentially. The penalties, living in third down, creating those tough fourth down situations. And so that's tough for, I think any group come in there trying to find a rhythm long term.
And Keller will be forced to punt it away again. Boyd back to return it for Carroll. Arturo on to punt this one instead of just. Low snap. He's going to have to pick it up. He loses it again. And Keller is able to recover it, but it's fourth down and Dragon ball. As Owens ran all the way back to cover it up at the 15-yard line, but no matter. Another turnover for the Indians and another big special teams play for the Dragons.
I love it. We talk about the old Dragon saying, Guy Y, get in on it. And Marcus Browse, I tell you what, he's been in on it all night on special teams. Incredible job.
The snap was a little bit low, but it was also not the usual punter for Keller. Jacob Just is their regular punter. Arturo, who normally handles kickoffs, was back there to punt. Christian Glenn into the game at running back. You see number 83 there alongside Renda. Glenn was used as a running back last season before being moved to receiver. Renda to throw. One play going up to the end zone for Knowles. This one is caught for the touchdown. And the route is on in Keller. Carroll with 4 unanswered touchdowns to start the second half.
Knowles just get vertical. You're 6'5". I'm going to throw it where no one else can catch it, only you. Incredible job by Knowles, catching it at the high point, bringing it down, throwing to a spot where only Knowles can get it.
So the Dragons here trying to put this one away early. Tommy Pennington Compass Group extra point is good off the foot of Clark Lemmerman. Minute 57 to go in the third quarter. It is Carroll 52 and Keller 14 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Kickoff off the foot of Strange goes into the end zone for another touchback. All kickoffs powered by Massaro Southlake. Tackle your hunger pregame, postgame this weekend or any day with queso Massaro and brisket tacos that score big on taste. Find us at the shops at Southlake, Massaro, where love is always on the house. So Dragons now leading by 38, 52-14 over Keller. This was a 10-point game at halftime, 24-14. Carroll has come out third quarter, scored 4 quick touchdowns. Last one, a one-play drive that ended with a Brody Knowles touchdown reception as they handed off and brought down in the backfield is Gonzalez. First one there for the Dragons, Nate Martin. Mateo Fedor also in on the stop, but remember, 3 touchdown drives of one play for Carroll tonight.
It shows you how powerful and how dynamic and just quick hitting this offense can be when it's running on all cylinders. You know, Coach Starwell said a little bit that, you know, kind of gave the impression of, you know, how long can they keep and hold the Dragons, what the score didn't look like. He talked about the game 2 years ago or 3 years ago when there was a rain delay. It was kind of similar at half. They were pretty close, and then it busted wide open in the second half. And we're seeing that tonight from the Dragons as well.
Third and short. Burkett in at quarterback on this series. They keep it on the ground. Moreno up the middle for the first down.
You this big Bo Fleming, Bo Fleming 91 on the tackle. Chris, he holds the shot put record at Southlake. He just broke a record probably held about 30 years in Southlake, and he's one of the top shot putters in the country.
See a line change up front. Fleming in there with Crawford Taylor at defensive tackle, Nate Martin in as well. Burkett to throw, being chased from behind. Going to tuck it and run across the 45-50, and a big run on third and short for Burkett.
Again, you're seeing the mobility of Burkett. You get him out there, and I tell you what, Charlie Roberts was in hot pursuit. He almost was about a shoelace away from making the tackle. It would have been an incredible play coming in from the backside. But again, Burkett showing what he does well is using those legs.
So another first down, this one inside the Carroll 40. The Indians do not have to snap it again before the quarter comes to an end. They do. One last play. Burkett to throw. This one nearly jumped and picked off, but it was knocked incomplete. Ladd in coverage for the Dragons, but that is the final play of the quarter.
Ladd had had his eyes on getting 6. He was so close on getting it, but great job by the Dragons.
A nice defensive play by the Dragons to close out the third quarter, and we will head to the fourth. Score Carroll 52, Keller 14 on the Dragons Sports Network.
The Dragon Den is your home for the best selection of Dragon fan gear in town. We offer many styles and sizes, and we're your Dragon hat headquarters. 100% of your purchase supports our student athletes in UIL sports grades 7 through 12. We're open weekly during all home football games and most Tuesdays and Fridays 11 to 2. We're everything Dragon. Interested in volunteering with us? We need adult and high school volunteers to work during hours we are open. That's the Dragon Den at Dragon Stadium. Go Dragons!
Hey Dragon Nation, it's Tommy Pennington with the Tommy Pennington Realty Group at Compass. Like you, I'm fired up about supporting my Carroll Dragons each year on and off the field. We want the best for our kids, and that's why we're all Dragons. I'm a longtime Southlake resident that knows the real estate market and knows how to get great results. Like your kids, you deserve the best too. Call us today at 817-416-9000. Check us out on the web 24/7 at calltommy.com. So from my Dragon family to yours,
calltommy.com. Go Dragons!
Keller keeps it on the ground on the first play of the fourth quarter, and Guy Gonzalez brought down for a loss by Nate Martin, but a flag came in towards the end of that play. It's going to be a hold against the Indians. Dragons decline it after the ball carrier was taken down for a loss. Check that, Bo Moreno, the running back, on that carry, and it'll be third and about 12. Burkett has thrown more tonight than he has all year. Rolls out to the left, going to try to pick it up with his legs across the 30, and he'll get it. Big run by the backup quarterback for the Indians to move the chains. But there is another flag.
Yeah, it was smart by Burkett. The coverage was soft off to the left. They kind of excavated out, into the secondary, gave a huge opening. But there was a holding there on the left side, and I don't want to mention it, Chris, because I'm not too good at making those predictions right on the Pistons this year.
In your mind, offensive linemen probably never hold.
There's no such thing as a holding for a tight end, yes, but for an offensive lineman, absolutely not.
Well, third and about 21-22. Burkett dropping back, rolling out across midfield to the 40, to the 35, flipped over and tackled short of the first down marker, but puts him within striking distance to get him if they go for it here on fourth.
And his athleticism is really on display here. He's getting it done with his legs, and But again, we're looking at a second unit for the Dragons. Putting the first team of Keller into a fourth down situation. They've done a pretty good job so far.
4th and 4. Burkett designed running play across the 30, gets the first down inside the 20. He could get into the end zone inside the 5 and in. Burkett on 4th down finds the end zone for Keller, his second rushing touchdown of the year, and it's 52-20.
Again, a little bit of pressure on the outside from Carroll, and just an excellent job by Burkett on just finding the hole and just making a play happen with his legs. There's really not much reading into this other than, hey, let's just try to get the pay dirt, and did a tremendous job.
The extra point try will come for Connick Whitmire. It's perfect on these so far this year and stays that way. With 11 minutes to go in the fourth, it's Carroll 52 and Keller 21 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
At AC Pros, we are a family-owned company that has been in business for 27 years in the DFW Metroplex. At AC Pros, we offer air conditioning and heating services, maintenance and sales, and we are a certified Trane dealer. Protect against the Texas heat or the cold in the winter with attic insulation, radiant barrier, or window replacement options. Contact us today for a complimentary energy analysis and air quality test. AC Pros, online at acprostx.com. Go Dragons!
Glenn and Boyd back to receive for the Dragons. Didn't get a chance to talk much about Christian Glenn because he was in there and Renda threw a touchdown pass on the first play. See if we get a chance to talk a little bit more about Christian Glenn. Moving back to running back here tonight and moving forward. Cerro kickoff coming by Whitmire. Boyd going to fair catch this one for the Dragons. We'll see if that is it for the Dragons starters on offense. Renda was out there to close out the third. We'll see if it's Coleman Fowler coming out to start the fourth. But talking about Glenn, made the move from running back to receiver last year, and now being asked to move back to running back in the absence of Riley Wormley. Was good last year as a running back. Averaged 8.9 yards a carry on 42 carries. Scored 4 touchdowns. It was just a crowded backfield and wanted to find a way to get him in the mix a little bit more.
He's a guy I've always been so excited about. He's just very explosive, and he does a great job. He's just got that football talent, and he's a really good player, and he's so versatile. Like you said, he's played receiver, he's played running back, and he's kind of that utility switch for the Dragons where you can kind of put him anywhere.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage on his first touch of the night. Fowler in there at quarterback. Fowler, a senior. He's 5 for 5 last week for 34 yards. Receivers in there for Carroll now. James Schaefer. Trevor Tade. Caden Mackey all on the field for Carroll. Schaefer, the one in motion. They give it back to Glenn. Not much there on the left side of the line.
Yeah, you mentioned Caden Mackey. He's going to be a guy, determining the extent of Luke's injury tonight. He's going to be a guy, another sophomore. He's probably going to step into the role as well. Someone they're really excited about on that receiving corps.
So a 3rd and 10 after they didn't get much on the ground on the first couple of plays. New offensive line for the Dragons. Hudson Hibbs, Landon Gents, Will Barley, Lincoln Zartman, and Lucas Shug. On 3rd down, give it to Glenn again. Finds a little bit more running room here and picks up about 4 yards up to the 29. Still brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I mean, great job getting behind Landon Gents and Will Barley. I think as it progresses in, you see Glenn in that spot at that running back's position. It's going to take a few games to get that underneath his belt to get his natural ability back at running the ball. But again, he's a guy that super excited about, Chris.
Hayes to punt it away. And, I would imagine it's got to be a little more difficult from lining up outside where there's not a lot of traffic in front of you to trying to pick your way through a lot of bodies right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it's just an adjustment, right? I mean, it's the physicality. You're going to get hit every play. It's just, mentally different. Vision has to change. All those things that comes with being a running back, which I have no doubt, Christian's going to excel at here in a few weeks.
Saw a lot last season. Just when he gets the ball in his hands in open space, he can make a guy miss and take off. Low snap. Hayes goes down to get it, recovers, and gets a nice punt away Across the 35, fair caught there by the Indians. As Carroll send the defense back out there, leading 52-21, 8.5 minutes to go in this one. Burkett still out there at quarterback for Keller.
He's been very dynamic with his legs here, especially the last drive, and he's kind of grown series after series here, and we're doing a good job on getting him just on the edge to make some plays, just as an athlete, Chris.
Misdirection to Gonzalez. Robbie Ladd makes the stop. They had some success with those interesting motions in the first half, sending running back going one way, Burkett going another. Dragons defense seemingly has started to pick it up a little bit. Ball comes out, Burkett picks it up and gets across the 40-yard line. A fortunate bounce for the Indians there, as that one mishandled when he tried to pull it out of the belly of the running back. But took an Indians bounce right back to Burkett.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you love about this Dragon defense and what you're seeing is, Coach Munn and the staff making the adjustments and, trying to, at least assignment-wise, change it up in the second, third quarter. They've really kind of shut down the Keller offense other than the last drive. And they did a good job of just game after game, making the changes on the defense just to slow down the offense. So,
Bo Moreno up to midfield for the Indians. Carroll, next couple weeks, games will be played on Thursday nights, the 10th and the 17th. Next week at home against Eaton. Following Thursday on the road at Northwest. A lot of motion in the backfield again. Keep it on the ground. Bouncing it outside across the 40 down to the 35. Goes Moreno again.
A great job by Moreno just getting on the edge and picking the spot and running towards it. Showing a little bit of speed there. Just the backfield. Keller, they have a lot of guys here in this backfield that are athletes that can get out and run in open space. And I think the distribution has been pretty good tonight.
Used 4 different running backs in Kyle Owens, Guy Gonzalez, Quentin Shropshire, and Bo Moreno. Ball comes out. Burkett almost had it, lost it for a second. The Dragons say they have it. We wait for an official signal. And it looks like a Keller player comes up with it at the bottom of the pile. Sean Harris, number 88, came up holding it after they pulled all the bodies off.
Again, ball security has been a little bit of a factor here. You've seen the ball get on the carpet here a little bit the past 2 drives. Great job by the Dragon defender to punch it out. Almost coming up with it here. Chris, those are dog piles that I hated when I played. You didn't know what happened down there. A lot of things happen. You don't want to be in those piles.
Burkett trying to get it outside. Hit hard as he crosses the 30-yard line. When he looked at the replay, saw number 88 there, Harris was not one of the guys in the pile, so he came up with the ball sometime as they were taking layers off of it. But if you're the guy that comes up with it at the bottom, that's who usually gets the ball, unless they can see something definitive on a replay, which obviously at the high school level is not coming to play. Gonzalez picks up a first down.
We talk about Eaton next week. Eaton's a team that, they have a lot of players, and sometimes you don't know what's not gotten over that hump or been that perennial playoff team. But they do have a lot of talent on their roster. They usually do it, year in, year out. Even looking at the middle school level, their middle school are pretty dominant, and they have been for a long time. And So you know there's talent there, and it's not a game that I'd ever write off for the Dragons either.
Robbie Ladd and Charlie Roberts get into the backfield to cause a loss of about 2. They'll throw. Burkett looking, tucks it across the 20, gets out of bounds. Burkett has been quick to run after he makes his first read or 2.
Yeah, I mean, his progression, I think, is only about 1 read, and then it's 1 read, and then tuck it and run. You know, there's not a whole lot going on there. You're scrambling out to the left to right. If he's there, he's there. If he's not, you're running it. And so, but he's been effective at it. You know, just based on the Dragons' coverage, you've got to, you know, if you want to slow him down a little bit, you got to bring some pressure off the edge there.
Ball comes out again. Burkett picks it up and is slung down in the backfield. Again, it's Charlie Roberts getting back there for the Dragons.
You know, Charlie Roberts, his motor, I love watching it. And since he's been on the field here the second half, high motor, high intensity, getting to the ball, a great job.
A lot of problems on the exchange here in the second half for Keller. They're going to try a long field goal here. Arturo on to give it a shot. Out of the hole to Barron Brown. And Riley Dodge wants a timeout before they attempt this field goal. But we will break as well with 3:41 to go in regulation. It's Carroll 52, Keller 21 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Howdy, Dragon fans. This is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing. As a Southlake resident, I understand what winning teams and championships are all about. CLC Roofing is your one-stop commercial and residential roofing provider. We offer roofing, gutter, skylight, and solar options for your home. Whether you need a new roof or just a repair, contact us today to schedule your free roofing inspection. You can visit us online at clcroofing.com or contact my office directly at 817-416-ROOF. That's clcroofing.com or call us directly at 817-416-ROOF. And go Dragons, let's finish.
44-yard field goal try for Keller coming up. Enzo Farturo gets it up, and it is going to be short and to the left. Long field goal try. Long ask for Carl Strelo of his kicker. And the Dragons will take over with under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The other game in the district tonight has gone final. Eaton over Keller Central, 49-14. It's the Central team that Keller beat last week, 14-8. Defense has been this group's calling card this year. Defense played really well in the first half against Carroll, but Dragons were able to open it up a little bit in the third quarter, especially. Throw it out into the flat. Fowler goes out of bounds, but a flag comes in.
Yeah, and again, I think the adjustments on the Carroll side offensively by Riley Dodge allows you to open up and see what you have. It done a tremendous job in the second half.
Penalty is against the Dragons.
Coming back on Carroll. Dragons have had some penalties today, but I don't think we've seen a hold on the Dragons yet tonight. Maybe on special teams, but not.
No, I think we saw a personal foul, right, before. Or
3.5 to play. Ball comes out for Carroll this time. Fowler able to regain it and fall on it, but he tried to get it to I'm not sure if he didn't see the snap or if he lost it trying to give it to Christian Glenn.
It looked like it was a handoff issue. It just got kind of discombobulated in a sense, Chris. And but heads up by Coleman Fowler and jumping on and getting on the ball.
Second down and 17 at the 19-yard line.
So both teams have had a little trouble hanging onto the ball here in the fourth quarter. This time Glenn does get it, runs into a wall on the right side, picks up a couple of more yards. It'll be 3rd and long.
Again, the regime changed up front for the offensive line. You have 54 Hudson Hibb, 64 Landon Gents, 52 Will Barley, 59 Lincoln Thartman, and 58 Lucas Shug.
And a new quarterback in now for Carroll on a 3rd down play, Preston Perazzo in there for the Dragons. Jesse Hill in at running back. Perazzo throws into the flat, complete and out of bounds along the far sideline. And a flag came in late again.
Preston Perazzo's pass complete to Trevor Tate.
Tate hauls it in.
Carter Lehman there again on the tackle.
Perazzo now 3 of 4 on the year.
Flag on field. Personal foul against Keller.
Another personal foul on the Indians.
Do we have a stat on the personal fouls from Keller tonight? I feel like
I think it's got to be 4 at least.
4 or 5. I tell you what, I mean, we talk about this game being chippy. It is a chippy game for some of these guys, but that's just shows you a token of what happens in these type of crosstown high schools playing against each other and how long they played. And we mentioned it maybe last year, but the Dragons haven't lost to Keller, Chris, since 1999, my year.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
It's okay. I'll throw myself under the bus, Chris.
Hill gets it. Outside and out of bounds. And I know it allows us to link you to the last loss every year, but it's a streak that you personally would probably like to see continue.
It was on this field. I remember it vividly. They had a really good team. They had a running back, Howard Boyd Doyle, that was going out to Wisconsin. They had one lineman went to UNT, one went to Nebraska. They had a really good quarterback, and it was a playoff team for Keller. And I tell you what, they got out of just on that.
Keep it on the ground. Hill dragging the pile forward for the first down across the 50. 1:20 to play here in the fourth as you see Hill jogging to the sideline. Sal Esposito checking in at running back now. Did a look at Riley Dodge along the Dragon sideline with a minute to play. Carroll can snap the ball a couple more times and call it a night. High snap. Esposito gets it on the carry, fighting for yardage to the 40 and stop just shy of the marker.
Well, it's what you love to see, Chris. You love to see the second group in there moving the ball, executing on the offense. It gives you confidence as a coaching staff, but also for these players. This is a great opportunity for them, just getting the action, and you love when the second group can execute. I think it makes everyone feel good about what they're running.
Just the chance probably to get in there and take a carry. You're hitting the hole hard for Esposito.
Oh yeah.
Gets it again, and that should do it. As the Dragons wrap up a big win over Keller. At one point it was a 52-14 lead for Carroll. It winds up 52-21. The final score as Carroll improves to 6-0 on the season, stays unbeaten in district play as well. Keller, meanwhile, falls to 3-3 on the year and 2-2 in district play. But we will take a quick break here as the teams shake hands at midfield. We'll come back, look at some of the stats, check in on scores from around the area, and wrap this one up. That's after a Dragon win on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Welcome to Macero Southlake, where American life meets Mexican spirit. Experience our renowned Mexican-inspired dishes, featuring Tex-Mex classics, inventive salads, a variety of seafood, and our award-winning cheeseburger. But save room for dessert, and we offer a wide selection of curated cocktails, over 20 wines by the glass, and refreshing, vibrant mocktails. At Macero, we're more than just food and drinks. We're an entire experience. It's sharing laughter, spending time with family and friends, and creating new memories. Whether you're looking for a pre- or post-game meal, weekend brunch, or any queso-craving weekday, join us in the shops of Southlake. Come see why at Macero, everyone's treated like family, and love is always on the house.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Dragons improved to 6-0 on the year after a 52-21 win over Keller at Keller ISD Athletic Complex. See Riley Dodge talking to his team after the win tonight. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton with you this evening. And Robert, looking back at the story of this game, I think one of the ones coming into it was that Riley Wormley would be unavailable for Carroll tonight and going forward. And Davis Penn, 4 touchdowns tonight, comes off and eases the mind a little bit as what that loss could mean. He had a huge night today.
Well, you've got to think about Davis Penn isn't your typical, I wouldn't even say he's really a number 2 back. He's committed to Baylor. He's an incredible talent. He's been a talent for a very long time within the Carroll system, going back into the DYF ages. He knows leadership. He knows what to take on. He did a tremendous job tonight, but he also had help, which was great. It took some pressure off of him to allow him to open up and make the big runs. Boyd had a big game. Renda did an excellent job on distributing the ball tonight. It was just fun to see the triplets do so well.
And offensively for Carroll as well, we have to hope that Luke Jacquemart is not banged up too bad. Of course, we'll learn more on that as time moves forward. Defensively for the Dragons, another strong showing. They give up just 21 points tonight. And we're faced with some challenges because this was an offense that was really showing two different systems every couple of series.
Yeah, it was. They keep you on the heels as a defense as a whole, but even as a defensive coordinator, you can only do certain things when the one quarterback's in. You got to be mindful of other things when the other one's in. But I think overall, they established the edge. They owned the edge of the game on the defense, and with a Van Dorsler out before a game, Zach Hayes really stepped up and did a tremendous job. Jake Lucky, that whole interior group on the edge with Davidge just did great. They needed to do that. We also hope Van Dorsler is not as serious as we didn't even know he was going to be out tonight, and so we wish him all the best as well.
You see the Dragons celebrating there after the win over Keller this evening. Special teams, we talked offense, defense. Special teams has been a big storyline this year as well, and it showed itself again tonight.
Yeah, I think we mentioned quite a bit in the broadcast tonight is how that can change a game, and they had one miscue with the fumble on the Dragons, which resulted in a touchdown. But other than that, they were pretty spot on in all phases of special teams. And as you get later on in the season, Chris, especially in the playoff time, that's when it becomes very crucial. That can separate the good teams from the great teams.
Yeah. Playing mistake-free football, a trademark of what Carroll does on the field every week. A couple of fumbles here tonight, a few more penalties than we're used to seeing, but something you would expect that would get cleaned up by this coaching staff. They do a great job at making those sort of corrections.
Well, they do, and it's a chippy night, right? This is a Keller team that's, again, your crosstown foes. Some of them go to the same church together. Some of them go eat the same places together. They've grown up together. It's going to be chippy, and it's pretty expected. But again, you have to go back to the table on Saturday and say, hey, what can we correct? What can we adjust for next week?
Well, looking at what else is going on around here this evening, we told you the one final from the district. 49-14, the final score between Eaton and Keller Central tonight. And one of the big games in the area, in the state, for that matter, Aledo tonight in action against Denton Ryan. Aledo, you were right, came back and won it 42-27. This was a game that at one point was 27-14 at halftime. Aledo with 28 points and held Ryan off the scoreboard in the second half to come back and win that one. Aledo, the top-ranked 5A team in the state. Denton Ryan ranked second, so that was a big one across the state. But Aledo does what it does and came back.
Well, Aledo's a very similar program like Southlake, a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and they've done some phenomenal things. So, just like when you play a Southlake Carroll team, you can never count them out until that whistle blows.
Well, looking at the numbers from this one, courtesy of our statistician tonight, Monty Clegg, for Keller, 251 yards on the ground. They kept it there most of the game. Kyle Owens had 16 carries for 86 yards. Brock Burkett, 12 for 97. Quentin Shropshire, 6 for 38. 10 carries for Bo Moreno for 30 yards, and Guy Gonzalez, 8 for 14. So just those carry numbers, Indians kept it on the ground a lot tonight.
Well, they did, and they had to establish the run. I think you mix it in with the penalties, it was tough, and they got a lot of yards here in the fourth quarter as well. But they were dynamic. They had a four-horse platoon there that was coming in and out, showed some versatility. And then I think, the backup, or not the backup, but the guy in changing Brock Burkett just gave another dimension of running for the offense.
And Burkett, 3 of 10 passing. Robinson, 9 of 53, or 9 of 50. 6 of 11, passing for 53 yards. No passing yards in the second half for the Indians tonight. For the Dragons, 172 yards on the ground, 238 through the air. The big one, of course, Davis Penn, 15 carries, 131 yards, and 4 touchdowns. No one else for Carroll carried it more than 4 times or for more than 16 yards. Angelo Renda was 15 of 21 tonight for 238 yards. His favorite target, Brock Boyd, 7 catches, 148 more yards, and 2 more touchdowns.
Again, I could talk about Brock Boyd all night and what he brings to the table, but more than anything, what he does is he's just relentless. Every single play, he practices like he plays, and the product you get on the field, from Monday to Thursday is the same that you see on Fridays, and that's what makes him so dynamic.
So over his last 2 games, or last 3 games now, I should say, that makes 25 catches. He's had a good season in the last 3 days. 25 catches, 396 yards, and 5 touchdowns over a 3-game span at receiver.
He might jump the charts here in the area leaders for receiving yards, or he's going to be definitely in the top 3, top 4, I would assume.
Especially, if not in yardage and touchdowns for sure. So that's a look at Monty Clegg's stat sheet from tonight's game. Mentioned the next matchups for each of these teams. Keller begins its tough stretch tonight. Carroll, Byron Nelson, Trinity, their next one on the road at Byron Nelson next week. For the Dragons, it'll be a home game against Eaton. Remember, that is a Thursday night game, not a Friday night. Thursday next week at 7 o'clock at Dragon Stadium.
It is. It's a little abnormal in schedule. We have two this year. But it's important to get in the stands, Dragon fans. Pack the house for Thursday. Eaton's going to be a big, big game. Every game from now on is a big game to finish out district.
And we hope you'll make it to Dragon Stadium for that one. If not, we hope you will join us for the broadcast. A 7 o'clock kick will be on the air with the pregame show starting at 6:15. So for our director, Tim Polster, producer, Bill Webb, statistician, Monty Clegg, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight from Keller, where the Dragons beat the Indians by the score of 52-21. We'll talk to you next week on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell, Briggs Freeman Sotheby, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, Tommy Pennington Realty Group, Macero, All-Star Orthopedics, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, AC Pros, and Mills Wealth Advisors. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons!